Yo, what's going on? We're back again, another WrestlePurists Podcast where we happen to review AEW Dynamite. Joined by my usual panel for the Thursdays, Joe Hulbert, Manny the Hooper, and Charlie. And yeah, man, we got a few other things to get into today. We're going to talk, this kind of all-in build or lack thereof, rumors around, rumors and reports around possible matches. And what else has been coming up the past few days, whatever else you want us to talk about in the chat, and, just the latest news, etc., just as we usually do. First things first, hope everyone can leave us a like, We need to get these likes up on the videos, man. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Super chat if you're feeling generous, always appreciated, and turn on the post notification. That is also appreciated as well. Hope everyone's doing good, especially my fellow co-host, Manny the Hooper. You look a little distracted, so I'm grabbing your attention again.
I found a lottery ticket.
Is it a winner?
I don't know. I just found it, I guess.
You need to... This could be Manny the Hooper's last ever WrestlePurists podcast,
It's for... I don't even remember buying this. It's for the Mega Millions.
Interesting stuff. But other than that, Manny, how are you doing?
Fine. I've been busy all day. I was at a school thing trying to sign up for school. Got embarrassed because I drew a picture of an alien and Jesus and God. I posted on Twitter earlier, but then I didn't realize the teacher was going to pick up the paper while we're on break, and I forgot to put my name on it. And she just yelled out to the class, "You drew the alien and the Jesus and the devil." And I had to pick up my hand and write my name. And it was real embarrassing. I accidentally hit the wall, the chair. I don't know. It's been a long day.
What I love about you, Manny, is that it was so embarrassing that you said, "I'm going to bring this up on the podcast tonight." That's why you're the best of us, bro.
I mean,
keeping it real, man.
Yeah.
It happened in front of 25 people. I mean, we're another 1,000 in there.
Yeah, let me bring this to 1,000. Let me bring this to the masses. What a legend.
Real as it gets, keeping it authentic as always. Where else do you get this authenticity on podcasts? You don't get it.
An update, I haven't touched the Oppenheimer book. It's still here on my desk. Hasn't moved.
Hasn't moved. Yeah.
A lot of people
we know.
Money with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know how people find time to read.
They probably don't do as many wrestling podcasts as you do. Generally speaking.
Oh, that's
All right, so that's the Hooper. Charlie, how are you doing on this fine Thursday?
I'm doing good. Haven't had as exciting a day as Manny did, but what should you want this morning? Spent some time with family, hung out with my dogs. Yeah, it's just been a chill day. Ready to review Dynamite now and talk about nothing like controversial. It was a great episode. There was nothing bad on Twitter. Everyone had a great time. It's going to be a smooth sailing podcast.
Yeah, some people love it, some people hate it.
Always like.
Joe, we know you love all wrestling.
I do, yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Party atmosphere, brother. Episode 90 of the WrestlePurists Podcast.
Yes.
Episode 90 of the Late Night Grin, all in one night. It's Christmas here in the Wrestling Podcast Arena. Couldn't be more excited. Wearing my best shirt, what the fuck this is called now. Feeling slightly better. I said t-shirt, and I was like, this is not a t-shirt. What am I talking about? My best t-shirt is the We The Ones red shirt that I wore with Monty. It's obvious. But I haven't drew any aliens today. But I am in a hell of a mood, let me tell you. Lots to talk about. Around 6 hours of podcasting ahead of me. A couple Pepsi Max queued up here. Don't get any better than this. This is the life.
Yeah, absolutely. I respect the hustle, Joe. I respect the hustle. We all appreciate it. All right, before we get started, I'm going to fly straight into some super chats. Keep them coming throughout the show, and of course, we will get to them as soon as we can. Going to try to get to them with a quicker response time these days. I'm trying to level up. Mashfan84 199, appreciate it as always. Still crying at MJF cooking Dax LMAO. What a king! Hey man, he didn't hold back. He knew what would pop people, So he leaned all in, man. He done his thing. Of course, we're going to get into it when we did Dynamite review very shortly. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. Jesus. £5. What what you do about AEW's women's division that said it all after Britt versus Taya. Darren, comments, man. You know?
I mean, in the most polite way possible, you probably should start by booking matches that have a chance to be good.
Mm.
And I mean, like, genuinely, like,
nice
when that match was announced, what did we all say? You know, it's like you can't have been surprised if you were the one who put that thing together. I mean, it is what it is. So that'd be a good start.
I'll get a PC.
Hmm?
I'll build a PC. You know.
When you say a PC, what do you mean? Do you mean a performance center or like a desktop?
Oh, yeah, performance center.
I was going to say, I think they have a PC or two in the office.
Yeah, man.
Now I want to see Manny build a PC.
No, if somebody wants me to read a book on Twitch, man, I'm going to sound like Floyd Mayweather out there. Come on, man. You want me to do that?
Oh, man. Jeremy Corbyn, $5. Mum said we can discuss NHS expansion tonight, but we have to be in bed by 10 p.m. because she has to go into the shops earlier. Well, it's already 19 minutes past 11 here, Jeremy, so we missed the boat on that one tonight, mate.
What's that?
Jacob Donnelly, $5. Appreciate you as always. Jericho somehow getting an Ospreay match in 2023 is hilarious and reeks politics. Hogan would be proud. I watched a podcast with Hulk Hogan on it earlier, actually. Interesting fella, you know. Never lies about anything, does he?
Who was he on?
This is even funnier. Theo Von.
Okay, right, fair enough.
Yeah, I remember you
I'm going to have to watch that, actually.
It's good shit, man. You know?
You sure? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to check this out, actually, I think.
It immediately opens up with... because Ric Flair was on it like not that long ago. And Hogan's like, how was Rick? And Theo just like... He's got some issues, you know. Like it immediately opens up with how much of an alcoholic Ric Flair is, you know.
Jesus Christ.
They get into it, man. Anyway, Jericho, yeah, it does seem like he's, he's good at this politics game, man. 30 years deep, brother.
You spelled Ospreay wrong too.
Yeah, it happens.
Manny, come on, bro.
Yeah, especially you, brother. Come on. Zapito, I believe, $4.99. Will you all be watching the Von Erich movie? I will.
Probably.
Cass looks great, and MJF as the fake cousin is killing me. Will be interested in seeing his performance. Yeah, I'll definitely.
I forgot he was in that.
This thing could be a monster for real. Like this. Mm-hmm. I don't think people in the wrestling bubble fully appreciate how normal folks are going to react to this story. Like, people are not like a lot of people are going to go into this somewhat blind, or at least the circumstance and the way it unravels. Like, I think this may explode, to be honest, which will be interesting just in general in terms of wrestling stories translating to cinema. But that's another podcast for another day.
Absolutely. Definitely. But yes, I will definitely be making an effort to go see the Iron Claw, I believe it's called.
Yes.
Short on Spurs, $4. Appreciate you as always. Taking a bong grip every time someone says women's division, wish me luck. Oh, we're praying for you.
Good luck.
Average Limp Biscuit Enjoyer, $4.99. Appreciate you as always. No message, just showing love. Appreciate it. Karan, 220 rupees. Appreciate you. Felt like a spin-off episode of a show with the side characters, but like not necessarily in a bad way. Still a fun show with Swerve, Darby, AR Fox, Orange Cassidy stuff being a highlight. Mox versus Orange Cassidy at Wembley? ? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I wouldn't say that's necessarily the best use of them both at Wembley, but it'd still be a good match either way. If it
it's interesting because I think it's been like 3 TVs now since Mox did the promo where he said, answer your phone, Eddie. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell if that's been dropped because it's been shifted to the Chicago show. It's been dropped because that'll be maybe he'll be wrestling Orange Cassidy and Eddie's music will hit or something to that effect. Like I can't tell which one of those it'll be. So it feels like we're going to get that match at some point. It's just a matter of where at this juncture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how it plays out. Darren KG, $4. Who wins in a WrestlePurists versus Late Night? Green 5 versus 5 Survivor Series elimination tag. Well, I think that depends on how you make up the teams, because we've got quite a large roster at WrestlePurists. Yeah. Late Night Green, of course, there's always the Jack Crosby factor, which has to be considered. He could win it all for Late Night Green, or he could throw it all away. Yeah, man, and obviously we'd have the storyline going into it of what side is Joe Hulbert really on, you know?
That would be drama, you know? Looking at my hands. Hit me with a lariat and look at my hands, like, what have I done?
I'm telling you, man, we could make some music. I'm not sure who would come out on top. Like I said, it depends on how you line up the teams, brother. Mass184, 199, appreciate you again, as always. Michael Serra as Chris Van Eric, inspired casting. Got Zac Efron, you got MJF in there. Iron Claw, man, I'm telling you. As Joe said, I think it could blow up because, you know, the story is like it's a lot, you know. It's a lot, to say the least. And as Joe said, if you're going into it blind, you walk out of there traumatized, you know.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it's theatrical release and it's going to be actually in the cinemas too, which is not always the case for, you know, like sometimes A24 will do the streaming release. And if it's going to the cinema, I think they're going to have pretty high hopes for it. We might guess, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
And they've got a proper cast in there, so they must have some belief in the story, and you know, man. So
hell of a way to spend Christmas, you know. Take your family to see the Von Erich picture. See ya.
Oh my god, does it come out near Christmas?
It comes out on the 22nd of December.
That's incredible.
Christmas movie of the year.
I'm gonna go to this film with a Christmas jumper.
Good shit.
Just leave when Kerry beats Flair. Walk out. What a great tale, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, man, we're going to be locked in for it, absolutely. So, but what we was also locked in for was AEW Dynamite last night. So, we're going to review that. Anyone remember what city there was in? Because I like to,
Albany,
New York.
Albany, New York. What did you think of the crowd? You know, just a quick one before we get into it.
I thought it was middling. I didn't think the matches had a lot of kind of juice going in anyway from a build point of view, so I don't blame them for being kind of flat for that. They gave Jack Perry a lot of heat.
Yeah,
I'd say somewhere in the middle for me. I didn't have a really strong take either way.
Yeah, it was kind of average.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard for me to listen while, you know, being on stream, but from what I did listen, they're all right.
Yeah, it wasn't anything overly inspired, and it wasn't anything where you're like, oh, this crowd sucked, you know. But yeah, man, he opened up with, you know, your typical intro, etc., and we got a AR Fox video package as he was about to face Orange Cassidy, and it's, you know, it's another one of these video packages with Darby Allin, kind of giving us a reason of why we should care and root for this guy that is about to wrestle, you know, and you know, Darby talks about how AR Fox gave him a place to live when he was broke, and how hard-working and dedicated he is, and how much of a leader in the gym he is, etc., 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 and just really put him over, made him look great. Really well done video package. And then we went straight into Orange Cassidy versus AR Fox. This was a nice opener, as they usually are when Orange Cassidy is opening up Dynamite with an international title defense. It's almost it definitely has become a bit at this point on these podcasts where we kind of say the same thing every week about these Orange Cassidy defenses. But AR Fox got to show, you know, what he's made of, and he's very impressive out there. He's very dynamic. And, you know, they did the thing, man. They killed it. After the match, you know, Orange Cassidy done the thing where he gives his opponent the glasses, they put it on, and they kind of pose together. And when Orange Cassidy had his back turned, AR Fox takes him out. Can't believe what he's done. He almost done the thing that Joe mentioned earlier, where he got out of the ring and kind of looked at his hands of, oh, what have I done? You know, we almost got that shot, but not quite. But that was the emotion he was selling as he was walking up the ramp, and then Darby comes running down, pushing and shoving him, like, what are you doing? I've just put my name on you, and, you know, you're embarrassing me. What are you doing? And that kind of goes back and forth, and they walk backstage, and that was the opening segment. Joe, what did you think of the video package, the match, and, you know, the afters? There was quite a lot there.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think this kind of
and the
the Moxley attack too.
We'll get into that
this kind of group of talent here, I think, has actually been some of the strongest stuff on Dynamite as of late. You know, as you mentioned, with the similar thing they did with Darby and Nick Wayne and the match that produced, and we had a couple matches here. I thought this was tremendous. I mean, Orange Cassidy really kind of just gave AR Fox a blank slate and said, you wrestle at a level that ensures they care when you do what you're going to do later. And man, did he make the most of that opportunity. And that, I think that comes with a level of experience in terms of, sometimes I think young guys wrestle on Dynamite and it's like they don't quite know what the opportunity is in front of them. They don't realize how big an opportunity it is. When you're as deep as AR Fox is in his career, 16 years, waited an awful long time for these kind of moments. You don't let these things pass. And I think you see that kind of poise in a spot like this. I thought he was tremendous. He has such a unique style where he's he's slick, but there is a genuine sense of force to his biggest offense. I think he's tremendous, honestly. So I'm glad to see he's getting more. The match was really, really good. One of Orange's better defenses, I think, actually for a while. So I really, really like this. Video package was great. Post-match was interesting, and we followed up on it later. So big thumbs up for this business.
Charlie, you like it?
I did. It did, the match itself was really good, and AR Fox hitting Orange Cassidy after the match really took me by surprise. And heel turns don't really do that that much anymore. You kind of see a lot of them come in. So AR Fox doing this after the match, it really shook me. I was just oh shit, what are they doing? But no, it was really good. Like Joe said, AR Fox was absolutely making the most of this opportunity, and it really paid off because he looked great in that match. And Orange Cassidy's just Orange Cassidy. He's just a great wrestler. He proves it week on, week out. So, and the Darby video package, man, they really have made him a central focus of Dynamite, and I think that's a really good bit of business for them because he nails it every time. He's great at this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, the well done video package kind of sets up the other thing that you mentioned, that it was genuinely a surprise for you. They put that video package at the start, making us think that they were leading to something else, but evidently not, So the video package was well done. Darby, of course, being a central figure, that's pretty good, man, because when Dynamite was in more than, its early days, Darby, man, he had that TNT title and he was drawing numbers, he was drawing quarter hours legitimately. He hasn't really been much of a TV ratings draw of recent months, year. It's been a minute, but I guess if you can heat him up, position him as such, you can get to something like that again. So, Manny, Orange Cassidy, man. Before this AEW International title reign, you was definitely one of the low guys on Orange Cassidy. He is now how many defenses in? 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know how many.
Manny, you muted.
You are muted. But yeah, now, July 27th, July 27th. How are you feeling about Orange Cassidy?
Man, he threw those orange punches, man, at the end of that show, man. I don't know. People are saying he can't use that finisher anymore. He's still using it at the end, but I don't know how I get this. It's okay, yes, that's a pet peeve of mine, but I think Orange is doing really good stuff right now with the title, and he's actually raising the stock. So, I mean, whoever beats him is going to become a made man after that. But I thought the standout guy was AR Fox because I thought he just put on a showing of a lifetime. And why are we laughing?
It's just the way you phrase things,
I was, to be transparent, I was laughing at just the fact that you liked the match. You felt the need to start this the way you did is unbelievable. You ultimately revealed you liked it, but you started with, I don't know, you were so mad.
Well, I mean, everybody was saying yesterday that he can't use his fist because he has a broken hand.
Manny, the thing is, the way that Orange finishes his matches these days is that he just he's getting more desperate to just end the matches, the deeper he goes into them, because he's been champion for so long, and his matches just get harder and harder for him. That's the whole thing. It's not that he can't hit it; it's he just doesn't have a chance to, because he's just desperate to get out of the match.
Yeah, man, you piece of shit.
Just throw up your do-rag one time for AR Fox, man. He's fucking awesome. Oh, man. Man, every time I watch AR Fox, I'm like, this is the real guy. Gravity for God. He's doing crazy shit, bro. That when he ran off the post, it's a Matrix or something, and just landed on him.
Mm-hmm.
That spot was so sweet, man. So sweet.
Yeah, he's awesome. I was actually for a second there, I actually thought he was gonna beat Orange and then when he turned heel, which kind of rude because I didn't really expect that. So I can't wait to see what he does with the Embassy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And obviously after all this went down, Orange Cassidy's kind of, he's left in the middle of the ring after AR Fox was just kind of, he's hitting with the lariat from behind. He's kind of, he's what the fuck just happened? And Mox just runs up in there and savages poor guy, he kicks the shit out of him, Joe.
He does.
Yeah.
This was a cool moment. I like the way they attached it on top of something else, which made the people kind of surprised they were getting more. That's always a cool thing to play around with. Because once you do an angle, the fans kind of settle into like, that's the end of the segment. It was nice. But I will say I'm torn between, on some level, like it pops me because you've transitioned Mox into something that's immediately interesting after Blood and Guts. At the same time, I think this was not the strongest show in terms of following up on Blood and Guts in the most compelling fashion, and I think hopefully they aren't going to just leave some of the things that were left behind last week. They aren't going to just leave them there forever. It's only 1 week, so I'm not going to be dramatic about it, but I don't think it was the most interesting follow-up for the character John Moxley necessarily. But putting that aside as a bigger picture thing, I'm absolutely into him versus Orange Cassidy, so I was excited by this direction, so kind of split on that thing,
Fair enough. At least, we've got some follow up, but maybe not the most ideal, Anyone got anything to add about Mox just kind of savaging poor Orange? Good.
I'm glad he no-sold him.
Man. Chris Jericho and Don Callis backstage. And basically, the gist of this is Don Callis trying to manipulate and offering Chris Jericho a chance to team with Takeshita, but this will be against Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Jericho kind of reluctantly basically accepts, and Jericho reveals Don Callis reveals a new painting, one of his classic paintings that he gets made himself in Jericho back when Don Callis had hair, a very long time ago. Ridiculous, but popped a lot of people this, and more Jericho Don Callis stuff. It seems like Don Callis is getting closer and closer to landing his man. Charlie, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I don't really know what I think about it. It's like we're 3-4 weeks into this now of this happening. I am excited at the prospect of Takeshita and Daniel Garcia being in the ring together, even if it isn't a tag match. So I'm excited that we're getting that out of this. But I don't know how I feel about this whole Don Callis family thing yet, with Jericho being the main build of it so far.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of seeing where it's going.
Well, to that point, I think they need to start really ramping up the focus on Takeshita here shortly, I feel like,
Yeah.
It feels like he's very much been a plot device in what Don Callis is doing. And I understand that's good for Heat's sake because Don is the Heat, he's the guy they're booing. But Takeshita's a superstar in the making. You don't want to just let him kind of fade to the background. I'm not saying they've even gone that far. It's just, to me, he's very much a piece of the machine when I feel like, you should make him the centerpiece in a way that I don't think they've quite tapped into yet, for my money anyway. So hopefully they do that here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. And obviously the recent reports from Fightful Select that, according to New Japan sources, Will Ospreay does have a match, AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. And as far as they're aware, it's Chris Jericho. So you throw that into the mix as well. So how do you get from point A to point B with that,
Well, I guess Don and Will kind of were aligned at Forbidden Door, right? I guess that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see people shitting on this match on Twitter, man. Let me tell you, that match didn't kick ass when it happens at Wembley.
I agree. So. I agree. I think it'll be good. I think the debate is more whether it's the most interesting way to use Will. Mm-hmm. I don't have really. It isn't something that's going to keep me up at night.
You sure?
I do think it's a big match. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. It is a big match. I don't think it's the most inspired matchmaking you can give Will Ospreay at this point, but I don't disagree with you, Manny. I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really rushing to see Kenny Ospreay 3. So I mean, it's kind of cool to see.
That wouldn't be my top pick for Ospreay All In. So.
Yeah.
What do we think of this? Ben Dixon says that he thinks Jericho makes what Callis is doing less interesting. And Jericho does kind of have that that shadow around him, where there is definitely a amount of people that are kind of like the roll the eyes when he gets himself involved with these things. Where do we find ourselves on it?
I don't know if it's just me. I don't know. I just the last couple of weeks I've seen Jericho, he just looks like lost. I don't know if it's like on purpose or he's. Yeah, I guess it's doing it on. He just looks like disheveled. I don't know. He just looks like a guy that's like lost. He's looking for a purpose, and it's just been popping me. So I am kind of interested.
I just kind of feel like it's meandering. Like they're trying to get to a point, but they can't make that point yet. So it's just kind of dilly-dallying its way through the weeks, and it's just not great.
Oh yeah, he's doing his full-blown pro wrestling acting at the minute.
Oh, he's going for it. Couple
he's just.
I think that might be the problem with using some guys that you want to use that are in the G1 because you're like, well, we can't use Ospreay because he's busy. Because if that is the match, you can't really move anything along.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like I actually quite like the core idea of this angle, and I think some of the segments have been good. I like the first live segment quite a bit.
Yeah.
Even the second one, I think I remember liking. But I think the issue for a lot of us is I just think there is a general kind of. I think it would help Chris to like go away for a little bit after Wembley, and I don't even think that's like a slight. He has been all over their TV, and he's been pivotal to their success. And look, we all have our fun with Chris Jericho. But let's be real, he has been pivotal to AEW success. I mean, last fall, when things were tough, he kind of rolled back the years in terms of the match quality. Some of the character stuff we were not so keen on, but he had some incredible matches in that run. I just think at this point, he would benefit from just 2 or 3 months off, and then post-Wembley days. He obviously should work Wembley. So hopefully that's ahead because I think that would actually help everyone, to be honest.
I agree. I do agree, to be honest. Next up on Dynamite, though. Moving back to the show. Blackpool Combat Club backstage segment. Castagnoli calls out Pac, a follow-up to the ROH title at Death Before Dishonor. Moxley interrupts his stablemates with basically just a stern warning to the Lucha Bros and best friends prior to the main event later on tonight. Mox keeps it short and sweet, He says what he means to say. No, there's no fat to trim. It's Mox, man. He's good promo. Don't think we have too much to add about it, But yeah, we had this one. It was a bit more interesting. We might have something to add. Jack Perry in-ring interview. All right, so Jack Perry's obviously he's just won the FTW title off Hook. He's the first man to defeat Hook, and he is wearing a T-shirt that says as much on him. He's also wearing orange shorts, and he's basically just a big middle finger up to Hook, to be honest. And he's still working on this heel persona, Jack Perry. He's got the music. He's trying to walk with a bit more swagger. He's being a bit of a dick to everyone. And, he gets in the ring. He basically insults the FTW title and ECW, and he's just healing it up. And he's interrupted by Jerry Lynn, Joe Hulbert, could you believe it? And, basically, they're squaring up, bro. They're looking like they're ready to go. And, Jerry Lynn explains that ECW is the reason that Jack Perry's in the business today. I'm not sure how true that actually is, but, you got to say what you got to say. It's a wrestling promo. Manny, Jerry Lynn, he's looking to kick the shit out of this ungrateful piece of shit kid,
I'm always a big fan of old fuckers, coming back and beating up guys. So, I mean, can't wait to see this Jerry Lynn and Jack Perry match.
You think to wrestle?
Yeah, I think so.
They're doing a face-off next week, so...
Look, I don't know how Tony does it, but he gets these old guys to come out for one last ride, and I hope he does it because I want to see what a 6-year-old Jerry Lynn does with the Jungle Boy. So, I think it'll be fun as graps all around.
Jerry Lynn is, he's like what? Gotta be like late 50s, early 60s now. He's getting on, Joe. Scary times ahead for the old man.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to wrestle. I think it's a setup for something else. But
yeah,
I thought Jack had much more confidence here, which is a positive. The presentation is still very much like 4 different ideas like jammed together, which is what it is. I gotta say, maybe this is a blind spot for me. It could be, but like doing the ECW stuff in this time and era, man, it's just I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's an audience for it that's like, you tell him, Jerry Lynn, you tell him about what ECW did, but it's like, it's 2023, man. Leave the memories alone. I don't need Jerry Lynn walking out talking about ECW's impact on the business. It's just to me, it's like, it's so past the time of which this needs to be happening on TV.
Yeah.
Honestly, I honestly couldn't believe that Jack Perry was a ECW fan. I just didn't see it, man. I don't know.
How old is Jack Perry?
I don't know, like 22.
No, he's a little bit older than that.
Oh.
Yeah, he's older, but ECW died in 2001. You know, it's like,
yeah. I think he's like 26. So
he was a Fed guy.
I think it's awesome how much of an affinity Tony has for promotions of the past, and I know he loves ECW, and that's super cool. But at the same time, you have just sold nearly 80,000 tickets in a stadium. You do not need to be doing ECW tribute spots in 2023. Like, you're your own thing. Move on. You know, and again, you know, I'm sure that it'll pop people, and I get if it does you, but it's just, for me, it's like I just roll my eyes at it. I just don't need it at this point.
Charlie, do you need it?
Not really. It's not really for me. I'm interested to see if it is segueing into someone coming in, but I don't really, like, outside of that, I don't really care about this angle for Jack Perry. I guess it's good that they're actually doing something with him, but I don't know, man. Like, this segment, it was just kind of a segment. Like, it just kind of made me laugh. I was a bit confused. Like, I don't know. I didn't know why we were doing this, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so I thought this fucking sucked, to be honest. So like this it's hard, like the Jack Perry thing's quite hard because it's like I really want it to work out for him because I think he's a really good in-ring wrestler. There's like a lot to like there. He's been branded as a pillar and he's obviously seen as very important to the company. So it would be more than ideal if when he does a big change, like turning heel or doing any sort of character change or go on any sort of title charge or anything like that, is that it feels important and he gets time. And I guess they are giving this a real chance, you know, which kind of makes it even more like unfortunate. But, you know, Jack Perry, as a heel, he's definitely far from the most natural thing in the world. Even if he is growing in confidence, it's just not working for me at all. He gets decent heat, though. My issue with it would be this, how long does that actually last? So, because obviously him turning heel is still very fresh. He was very much a beloved babyface, so that's always going to get some heat for a while. He's just beat Hook, and that's got heat, and hopefully booking wise they can kind of keep the momentum going with keeping the heat up, because I think if he's just left to his own devices out there as a heel, I think that heat will die down pretty quickly because the promo segments are just not the box said it just kind of sucks. And you got Jerry Lynn walking out there like fucking 63 years of age talking about ECW 30 years fucking down the line, and it's like, what are we doing here, bro? You know, Wembley's in a month. Well, yeah,
I didn't dislike the promo as much as you, but I will say I'm surprised by how like immediate like prelim Jack stuff feels. You know, like it very much feels like just a guy on the shaft turning heel immediately, which I think is kind of surprising considering the investment in him. But
yeah,
I don't know. I thought the Hook the vignette thing, the Hook one. Yeah, was it? Yeah, Hook sucked too. I didn't really get the artistic thing about him disappearing.
It's because it's just it's cool aesthetic, man. You just don't get it. You're not down with the kids, my bro. Like what's good, man? You know,
it's like the meaning behind it. It's like he lost his belt and now he's disappeared. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Like,
I don't know,
it'll be cool when he pops up again in like a few weeks. So.
Hey Manny, why don't you follow the product, bro?
I just thought he looked like Batman or something. You know, when like the train's going by real fast and he just disappears.
He has this mysterious aura. Like, you know,
there's nothing mysterious about him. He's Taz's son.
He doesn't talk. When he does talk, people pop for it. So.
He likes chips. I mean, I know.
You can be mysterious and like chips. Right? Those things are not necessarily usually exclusive.
I need a palate cleanser. The weekly steel chair, £5. Devil's Rising here. Appreciate member of the WrestlePurists Galaxy. Always supporting. Appreciate it very much. Just wishing you guys well to more great wrestling content. Thank you very much. Listening to the pod, rewatching Okada versus White Wrestle Kingdom 17. It's a great match. White. So I was going to just put over White like he's not in there with Okada. I love long Jay White matches. It's probably one of my favourite genre matches, to be honest. Yeah, brother just gets it, you know. Master 84 199. Appreciate you as always. If Ospreay with Callis Elite story, do Ospreay versus Hangman. I mean, yeah, obviously Ospreay versus anyone in the Elite would be fucking, you know, pretty much anyone in the story that the Elite have just came out of, you know. Ospreay versus any of those guys is money. So there's definitely a lot of options for Ospreay, but of course the reported rumor and the word in New Japan is that it's going to be Chris Jericho. So, you know, you get what you get, brother. You get what you get. Some people will pop for it. I think it will be a pretty good match, but I just don't think it's the optimal match for Will Ospreay in Wembley Stadium.
Hidden Blade versus Judas Effect.
Big poster. Yeah, man. We got to get that made. Darren Cage, $5. Appreciate it as always. A conversation needs to be had about how dumb it's been overhauling the creative process of the product just months before your biggest show ever. Okay, I'll just use it to segue kind of into another thing. Backstage, a little bit of news backstage in AEW. Chris Hero, as many people know, he was on trial as a producer at AEW. He is now being made full-time, according to PW Insider. Also, Scotty 2 Hotty has been backstage recently at AEW tapings, and he's also doing some agenting and producing, but that is not that's not full time, as Chris Hero has been recently revealed as. So more producers, more agents, more people getting involved backstage. That's like the 39,000th hire that Tony's made in the past few months, it seems, for that department. We was very much on this channel, at least, and on this show, we was very much of the belief that, you know, Tony definitely does need to kind of like delegate how much he's doing and what he's doing. I'm not sure about how he's set up this system, you know, but more minds backstage. Manny the Hooper. What do you think? I know you're happy about Chris Hero. Seems like a good hire.
I love me some Chris Hero, but what do all these people do, man? Like, there's so many.
That's exactly.
Is Tony just hiring like his favorite wrestlers? Where he's like, man, they don't like they're not working, so I'm just gonna hire them and then just pay them, you know, just to, you know, maybe talk to some of these guys if they want to listen, and then if not, they have a steady job. And I kind of knew something was up when Hero announced Garcia and Lee Moriarty for his West Coast Pro thing. So I kind of figured there was like a he was gonna work for him more. But it's just funny seeing, like, I feel like every week there's like a new creative person backstage and all. I'm like, what do they do? It's like, it's like that. I honestly don't know if Tony's like really booking like or in charge of creative anymore for Dynamite, because it feels like a completely different show from when we knew like he was doing it. And I feel like more Collision's more like his thing. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Dynamite's just completely different from what it used to be creatively.
Hulbert, Scotty 2 Hotty, Chris Hero. Do you think they are minds that AEW talent can benefit from picking up? You know,
I mean, Hero is like an encyclopedia, right? That dude's wrestling brain is famous, and I know when him and Claudio would team, he was so hands-on with those match layouts and stuff. Sometimes I actually would say like relatively mixed results, but he was always trying stuff and trying to bring spots back from yesteryear, and very, very smart pro wrestling brain. I'm not as familiar with Scott Taylor in that regard. But you know, I mean, dude's been in the business for 30 years. He was doing jobs in the mid-90s.
No, yeah, he gets it, man.
He absolutely, I'm sure, can add. So, yeah, I mean, they both make sense as hires. It seems to me like they're going to split the. It seems like there's going to be a crew that works on the matches on Saturday and the crew that works on matches on Wednesdays. What it seems like, right? Rather than having the agents work both shows. That's what it seems. So
seems. What we don't know.
Just based on the bodies.
Seems like they're kind of just floating around back there. You know?
Like, based on the amount of people on that team. it feels like that's kind of the obvious conclusion to draw, which makes sense because if the talent's only working one, then it doesn't really make much sense for, Pat Buck or whoever to go to both towns. So that's fine. I mean, I don't have I'm not going to be heated about people getting agent money. I mean, where's God bless. Good for Chris Hero.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear when, it's not like, I don't think anyone suspects that, Chris Hero or Scotty 2 Hotty are out there making billions of dollars on fucking crypto or NFT or anything, so it's nice to see him. It's nice to see him get a nice role, man. This is a nice role to land yourself. Charlie, a lot of hires backstage in AEW. What do you make of them? Chris Hero, Scotty 2 Hotty, and even some of the others. You can go as far back as Jimmy Jacobs and
Orange
Cassidy, Bryan Danielson. There's a lot going on back there.
I think it's always good to have more people to pick the brains of and that. I was actually at the West Coast Pro Show where Chris Hero announced that he was on board with them and doing stuff with them. So it's pretty cool to see him in such a short space of time go from doing that to having a job at AEW as well, doing the same thing. Because he's been doing good stuff with the West Coast Pro Shows. He's booked some good shit for him. So I think that he's definitely a positive addition. I don't really know all that much about Scotty 2 Hotty, but I'll take your guys' words for it that he's a sound person to add. But yeah, hopefully it's just all good stuff for the company and makes things easier for Tony in the long run.
Yeah, whenever people talk about Scotty 2 Hotty, they always have very positive things to say about him, especially from his time back at NXT as a coach and stuff. And when he talks about wrestling, because, we've done a few rounds of podcasts when he first got released from over there, he's definitely he's switched on, he gets it. And like I said, people have always had very nice things to say about him. Seems like a pretty cool guy. And he was very much part of a very, very hot act in one of the hottest periods in wrestling history. So
So whenever a guy is most famous for playing a role like that one, it often gives them a great kind of perspective that helps them work with talent, because they've experienced different things. Well, Scotty 2 Hotty probably wasn't the character that he dreamed up. He very much was a comedy role because he was a really talented wrestler. That was the role for him to play, which obviously helps him when he's talking to a talent who has to do something similar, right? Sometimes it's not about being the most expansive version of you. It's about being the version that makes the most sense for the show. So I think it helps in that regard.
For someone like me that's not very knowledgeable of Scotty 2 Hotty, what do you do?
Well, they danced a lot, They were like a comedy act.
So have you ever seen a video of Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, Grandmaster Sexy, and then they'll do the dance and
the butt guy?
Yeah.
They were an act together and they would dance. Scotty's big thing was the worm. Have you seen the worm? In a wrestling or non-wrestling context?
Oh, I've seen the worm in a dancing sense, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he would do that and then for a forearm or whatever. So hand. What did he like a chop? It was like a chop.
It was like an elbow drop thing, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, anyway, they were a comedy act and they got over huge in 2000 range that time.
It was they were. Yeah, it's good that you bring it up though. About how it wasn't probably what he was dreaming of when he was younger. Started too hot in that. That was kind of too cool, bro. Whenever you say to any fan that was around watching wrestling back then, you mention too cool to them. They're not thinking about the work rate of Scotty 2 Hotty and Brian Christopher, but they could work, man. They could work. Had a lot of not a nice undercard matches back in the day, short but sweet, and the act as a whole was over as fuck. So shout out Scotty 2 Hotty, man. I've always been a fan, always. So hopefully you can land a permanent role like Chris Hero has. All right, more super chats. Chi-Town Spurs, $5. Don't care about ECW, but happy to see Jack Perry getting heat for simply existing.
You got a really good reaction this week. Yeah. From a heel perspective, a really good reaction. So I agree.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you got some nice heat last night, man, and that kind of carried through the segment, I think. And my only worry would be what I was mentioning earlier. It's very fresh at the moment. He's just beat Hook, etc. And I don't want it to be one of those things where it's super reliant on booking and him having to have to do something that attracts super heat every couple of weeks to keep it going, because his actual character stuff, I just don't think it's going to carry the heat long term. but we'll see. I'd happily be wrong because I want Jack Perry to be successful.
I think it's ruined AEW does stuff like that. I don't know why they just don't keep him from wrestling. They just rely on just character stuff. Why don't you just let them be a heel in the ring and see if that gets over, the strengths.
I don't know. We're going to do a lot of things to do. Yeah. Zane Haddy 199. Logan the German agrees with Monty, hates the theme. Shout out Zayd's German Shepherd. He's 5'7", 115 pounds. He's a big boy,
Wait, what?
You know what, Manny? Let's just move on. Let Manny just think whatever he wants to think about the comment, Darren Walker, 5 pounds. Jack Perry versus Bully Ray at Arthur.
Oh, no.
How does that work? Because Jack Perry's the heel now. Like, what?
Oh, that's Bubba's favourite play. Being a babyface like ECW protector guy. That's his favourite shit, bro. Talking about the blood, sweat, and tears. The miles on the road.
Bully Ray trying to be a babyface now would be like fucking incredible. Incredible to see the effort.
That's crazy.
Plethora 1C 199. I call him Hack Perry. Thank you, Alberto, for life. Appreciate it. But yeah, Jack Perry, man. Like I said, I really want it to work out for him because I think he's a great wrestler. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of I feel like there's a little bit of cope going on with him in a minute, Because he's so good in the ring. It's like you can't be like, oh, Jack Perry sucks. Like, you can't say that. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, what is he doing right now?
I don't disagree, but it's still early days, man. It takes time. You're not going to immediately turn here when it like clicks in an instant. You got to give it time,
It does. Yeah, man, like I said, I hope it does work out for him, man, because Jack Perry is a good wrestler. He's a good talent, man. Hope he kicks the shit out of Jerry Lynn when they have the face-to-face next week. And, we get a saviour of ECW, whether that's Bully Ray, Rob Van Dam, or some other guy that's been spoken about,
Devon.
Brother Devon coming out.
Devon versus Jack Perry.
Christ.
Yeah, man. But yeah, he's the Sandman,
Well, hold on.
I would pop for that.
Raven.
Sandman's probably not regressed that much either, because the point that we were starting at in the first place was certainly a point,
Imagine Metallica at Wembley.
I was just thinking, enter Sandman at Wembley. I may have been too quick to shoot this down. I don't know. I'm thinking about this now. Right.
Maz Fan says, who is the best active in-ring ECW legend right now?
Sabu.
I mean, it's going to be...
No, RVD is better than Sabu now, bro.
It's going to be Rob, and it's going to be Van Dam.
No, there's probably someone that just gets forgotten about, Who are ECW legends, bro? Christian Cage.
They must not be legends if you can't remember them. So
that is a fair point, but it was a long time ago, Manny, and I didn't watch it live at the time. It's all real.
Tanaka's a good call. Chat's right. Yeah, Masato Tanaka is the right answer. That's it.
CM Punk.
JK. It does feel like Van Dam is going to be the guy who is then
Rhino
going, right?
Get Taz back in there. Fuck it.
The fact that it's Jerry Lynn would suggest it's Van Dam.
Yeah, Dreamer. Jesus. Dreamer's been active, mate. He's been on Impact pay-per-views, brother.
Sure.
I'm surprised.
Jericho technically ECW as well. Well, not a legend, though. It's not really a promotion people associate with him also. Jack Perry, Jerry Lynn promo. Next up, we had a DMD, Britt Baker promo. It's just a promo putting herself over before the match with Taya Valkyrie later on in the night. Pretty inoffensive. And then we got Pac versus Gravity. This was very much just an internet bit playing out on national television. And you can make of that what you will, as it was said when he was Adrian Neville, Pac in WWE, and he was billed as, the man that Gravity forgot. He was referred to that in commentary, etc., etc. And, they played out the bit, like I said, live on national television. Obviously the perfect place for it, Joe Hall, but what do you think?
The match was alright. I don't know if they needed to actively explain the bit by having Pac introduce himself and having Excalibur, explain to Tony Schiavone this. I don't know if that was, I don't know if it needed to have that kind of detail work at play. But once they got to the match, I thought it was fine. I mean, Gravity is not the most polished yet, but I actually thought he was okay here. If nothing else, he got Pac a win on TV, and it was an inoffensive. What was it, 8 minutes in that range? Like I had no real issue with it.
I mean, fair enough. Manny, what do you reckon, mate?
I probably wouldn't have done this match, but I probably, if I was going to introduce Gravity to the wider audience, I probably would have had him against another fast-paced wrestler and all that instead of Pac, who slows it down. But I mean, there's no point armchair quarterbacking a show that's already over. So I mean, fuck it.
To be fair, Taz did sing Gravity, which may have made this worthwhile. That was for the highlight, I thought. But, yeah.
Charlie, big fan of Gravity?
I've enjoyed what I've seen of him. I liked the match. I thought it was a fun little time. I didn't really need them explaining the bit because if you get it, you get it. But it is what it is. Like, yeah, I have nothing against it. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, AEW Dynamite and national TV is not the place for this horseshit, to be honest, is it? You've got this completely unknown with a fucking proper, like, it's the gimmick is it is what it is, man. But it's just kind of, again, I'm going to say this a lot on this podcast. We're a month out from Wembley, mate. Your women's division's in fucking shambles, and but we can find 10 minutes for this. Like, it's just. What was the meaning of this? Where does it stand now? And now
so basically,
the bit's paid off. It's like
he used to be.
No one got it in the building.
Gravity. Oh,
it's
like Pac doesn't even wrestle like that no more. It doesn't even make sense. Why would you even bring it up? Pac is over here doing ground and pound. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and he was doing his fucking dumb the Gravity with Tiger Style just brought it up in the chat. I feel like he's just done it to be spiteful to me, Fucking, he's walking around like, he's got no gravity. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here, bro?
That's a pretty good bit.
No, it's not, Joe.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Fuck.
It made Pac laugh on the national TV. That was pretty funny.
Fuck.
I don't disagree with you on the point of booking it, but I think you're going too far with disliking the walk. The walk is quite funny.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been fucking owned, and I know, you know what I mean. But Jesus Christ, man, what is?
I mean, like,
I don't need 10 minutes of my come on, Tony, bro. Fuck me. Get off the internet for fucking 10 minutes, will you? Jesus Christ.
Come on, did you, have you thought that maybe luchadors are very popular?
Pardon?
Luchadors are very popular.
Not him. No one fucking knew who he was a week ago, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Nobody knew who Rey Mysterio was a week,
Oh, come on, man.
You gotta, not all legends are born in one day. It takes time.
Oh, come on.
That was quite the comparison, especially as that video of Rey Mysterio's debut was going around on Twitter the other day, and he got a huge pop.
Especially as Manny, every time anyone mentions like a comparison to Rey about like a modern lucha, like it annoys him how much Rey Mysterio and Eddie gets brought up, and that was his go-to right there. Like,
what an artist!
Phoenix. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I don't know. What else? Luchador. I mean, like I said, for Psychosis.
It's Manny coming back with that retort after conceding that he doesn't think this match should be on Dynamite makes it even better.
Also, I guess like even to not go to the extreme of Rey Mysterio, like, man, it's like, everyone starts off unknown at some point, but fuck, man, at least like, with like a Vikingo, like, bro, when you see Vikingo for the first time, you've seen fucking Vikingo. You get me? You've seen something different. You've seen someone who's like very clearly impressive. Whether you're into that thing or not, you're gonna remember what you've just seen. With this Gravity dude, like, what are we doing? Like,
to be fair, have you ever seen the walk before?
Look, Monty. To be fair, They did announce.
Oh God!
Monty, look.
With these people, bro.
Yesterday was a big day for space. You got Aliens and you got Gravity debut. I mean, people are gonna remember this forever.
You know, it's a good point by Manny. You should consider that.
What is going on, man? I just national television. Fuck, like again, you know, we're a month out from fucking Wembley. The women's division's crying for help. It's drowning out there.
It's been crying for help forever.
Exactly. Exactly. Bro, I'd rather watch. Oh, mate. Fuck.
Be careful what you ask for right now.
I just think what are we doing here, bro? You know, as soon as he got announced, I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Then
yeah,
the fuckers went 10 minutes. I thought Pac was just gonna kill him. They had a match. What the fuck? Who's this for? I need to. Yeah, you know, fuck my opinion. You know, we're moving on. Zayd Nadu 199. We'll post a photo of Logan on the YouTube link tweet. Go for it, or put it up at the end of the podcast or something. We want to shout out Logan, the German Shepherd. Manu looks very concerned as his dog in the background looks game ready. You know, shout out Manu's dog.
No, she's shaking. I don't know what she wants. I mean,
Monty and Dax hating fun in wrestling, very spiteful. Short on Spurs with the $5. I don't hate fun, bro. You know, I mean, you know, it's just.
No, if you want
there's got to be some purpose to it, you know. It's got to be fucking.
It sounds like what someone would say who hates fun, Monty. I'm sorry to say, I mean,
you know,
he did a moonwalk.
He did.
Fuck the time out.
Wait, he did the moonwalk?
Well, not one that takes talent, man. You know, not moonwalk that takes talent. The fucking.
I was like, why just the moonwalk?
Walking like you've got fucking.
Space boots.
Never mind. You know. Oh man, fucking these reviews will be the death of me. Anyway, Jordan Spurs $5. I don't hate fun, brother. No, I don't hate fun. You know, we're having fun right now. You know, we're having fun at my pay. You know, and I can see the humour in it. You know,
yes,
and I'm along for the ride. You know, I'm happy it pops people. Darren Walker £5. Appreciate it as always. We need a 10-minute match on Dynamite next week. Gravity versus Keep Sabian just for the review. Board Mountain. But I'll be cool. I'll no.
He won't be on that one.
I can't even articulate a sentence. Brainbuster 499. Gravity's walk was a stroke of genius, man. If Max Moon had the walk, he would have been world champion in the WWF. Get it together.
That's a good point.
Absolutely entitled to your opinion, Brian Buster. Appreciate the super chat as always. Keep them coming, and we are going to move on now from Gravity before I have an aneurysm.
I need Dom to do it now.
What was that, man?
I need Dom to do it on NXT now to see your reaction.
Just you know, the thing is as well, like NXT's got shitters on it, but it's NXT. It's supposed to have fucking shitters on it. Like this is AEW Dynamite. Like this is meant to be like the A show of AEW, which is meant to be like where the real wrestlers are. You know, this is where the in-ring magicians are, and you know where people are allowed to cut real promos, and people get time, and people get the pushes that they deserve, and fucking they're using TV time on fucking Gravity versus Pac. That leads to nothing anyway.
Look, to be fair, there's a lot of shitters on Dynamite all the time, like Pillman, Uno.
It's unacceptable.
Like,
Pillman's not on Dynamite all the time. He's not even with the company anymore. Oh, fuck. You know, this was good, so this is a nice palate cleanser.
Okay, good.
MJF and Adam Cole promo with Renee. And, you know, Adam Cole goes to talk, but MJF jumps straight in. You know, this is his promo time. And, you know, he cuts a promo about the upcoming AEW Tag Team title match that's coming up on Collision, I believe this weekend against FTR. And he just fucking, you know, he takes some nice jabs at Cash. You know, he dunks on the mullet, dunks on a few other things, etc., etc. But when he gets to Dax, Joe Hulbert, he fucking goes off, you know. He's doing the accent. He's bringing up the family. He's talking about CM Punk's jockstrap. He's ripping him apart.
He was indeed. This was a tremendous piece of business. I think you saw here a kind of glance at like what we've talked about as of late in terms of if Max is the babyface leaving this feud. He can absolutely talk shit about guys and remain the babyface. It's the Rock template, you know. Like I think you saw that here. This was really good. I thought they did a really good job in this little block of TV of like actively promoting the match on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It feels like a big one, right? Saturday's match feels big time, so thumbs up here for sure.
Yeah, it does feel like a big bit of business. Just for this part of the promo, Charlie, what did you make of Dax getting his a few shots went forward his way, you know?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was very funny. It is.
Of course you did.
It feels right. I do feel like a little bit of a hypocrite for liking some of the stuff that Max does now. Because sometimes it is just similar stuff to what he used to do, just aimed at wrestlers that I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm like, yeah, I can get into this. But no, I have kind of done a 180 on Max. I wouldn't say I'm officially a fan, but I enjoy his work a lot more now than I used to. So,
lesson number 1 of the wrestling podcast, the playbook, is hypocrisy. It's the first thing you have to pass to get your license. Yep. Manny actually had to take the course like 15 times because he was so honest and sincere. He couldn't ever be a hypocrite. So I'm glad to see, Charlie, you're really leveling up here as we go. Good stuff.
Yeah, Manny's Manny's never gone back on his word. He's never flip-flopped on an opinion. He
calls it down
changed his mind. He puts his call in early and he sticks by it. You know, he stands by it. And we have always appreciated that about Manny Hooper.
I'm not letting up on this MJF, man. I'm not gonna fall for it. I know as soon as I'm like everybody else, like, oh, I love MJF. He's awesome. He's this, he's that. And then he's just gonna stab me in the back. He's gonna stab me in the back and he's gonna do his horse shit again. Now I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here on WrestlePurists. You know, I knew all along while everybody's walking back their words. And I won't. I'm gonna stay like a tree and just stay still. I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen with this MJF guy. It was a really good segment, though.
Yeah, man. And as the segment continued, they're putting themselves over as the mighty duo, the tag team that's gonna take the gold. And Cole basically says, like about last week when they had that moment when Cole picked up the title, and he was like, Max, I was just trying to give you the title. There was no, I wasn't being any weird about it, at the start. Maybe I did want the title, but now we're friends, etc., etc. And MJF, many people's surprise, excuse my English, MJF basically said, win or lose in this tag title match, he's going to give Adam Cole a title shot out of a love of friendship, much like Joe Hulbert pretty much predicted on our pre-show yesterday. A very interesting development, but as they were, as MJF was announcing this, basically, Roddy Strong, very fired up. He comes into frame and he's not happy. He can't stand the sight of Maxwell and Adam Cole together. And him and MJF are kind of like shouting in each other's faces. Adam Cole asks MJF if he can, step away as Adam Cole kind of like speaks to Roddy and sorts this out. Roddy still can't believe that MJF and Cole are friends, etc., etc. And, Cole basically just tells him, like, yo, know your boundaries, bro. I've got other friends, etc., etc. So, Cole, Roddy, he was kind of left on his own. He's not happy, building more to the idea that Roddy may get involved in this storyline more so than we've already seen going forwards. But Joe, your prediction seems like it's very much on course, mate.
It does, but I think with a twist. I think I want to be very careful here, like kind of, expecting this, because I think this is the most interesting route. It's something that Charlie first brought up on the show. And I don't want to expect it. I set yourself up for disappointment, but it really feels like Cole's the one who's turning here, doesn't it? I mean, good Lord. It feels like Cole is waiting to get the match signed and sealed for Wembley. To me, It seems like the bit is going to be that as soon as Max gives him that match, that's the end of it. And he's ahead of Max the whole time here. And Roddy is just oblivious to all of it because he's Roddy, bless his heart. And he's certainly believably oblivious. So I think that's where we're going. I mean, I think this is all really well done. And I think they did a good job of selling you a ticket for Saturday. And it feels like Roddy may be involved on Saturday, to be honest. So, yeah, I think it's been really compelling. I like this a lot.
Yeah, this was probably worth noting that this was a pre-tape. Feels like this could have been done in the arena, though. You know, if you had something like the, like the announcement of like, all right, MJF is going to announce the call that he'll give him a title shot. You know, you definitely could have got a very good in-ring segment out of that, especially if you give something like that to MJF, who has been known for having very memorable in-ring segments in AEW. But they've done a pre-tape, probably filmed a few days ago, last week, whenever they did it. So, but it was still pretty good what they were able to do. You know. Yeah, Charlie, what did you make of the rest of this? Where do you think Roddy plays into it? What do you think of the title shot being given, etc., etc., etc.?
I really enjoyed this. I am still firmly of the belief that Cole's going to be the one that ends up turning, because Cole's not a stupid character in AEW. Like, they've always portrayed him as kind of like being the smart heel. Like, he knows what's going to happen. Like, he makes the first move. So now that he's a babyface, like, that shouldn't change. So I really can see him trying to get the jump on Max. Like, they're going to, like, shake on the mat, or, like, they're going to, like, talk about the match in the ring or whatever. They're going to shake on it, and then Cole's just going to punch him in the face, and it's going to get some real heat, I think. So I'm very interested in seeing if that is the route they go with it. The match on Saturday, I still don't know who's winning, which it is great in wrestling. You shouldn't be able to predict it, but it's going to be really interesting to see that as well. I'm excited for the match. I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I still think the winning. I can't, as I hilariously said yesterday, Joe asked me why. I was like, I don't know. I just think the winning. I don't actually want them to. I don't think though, because I want FTR versus Bucks at Wembley, as unrealistic that may sound, even though there's no rumours of that happening right now. It's what I want. I
kind of thought they were going to win the belts, but for whatever reason, the last week I don't know. I didn't get that from this week's promos, to be honest. The fact that they already established the world title idea made me think they wasn't going to win on Saturday. But I'm with you, Charlie. I don't know. I mean, I think it's definitely I need to see that live situation, which is always good. Yeah. So it's interesting. Big match, though. Big match.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice bit of business, I guess, for as far as pre-tapes go. Willie, 199. Unfiltered Monty is the best. Gravity sucks. I agree. I appreciate you, I guess. Mavsman 84, 199. Monty, can you do a Dax Harwood impression? 199. I don't know if that's enough, I don't know if that's enough.
Build up to it.
Build up, I'll add it to the pot, though. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Sir Isaac Newton. Fuck. $5. Right, Monty, I've had enough. It's on site next time. Get your affairs in order. Oh, bro, I'm here, bro. Waiting for you. Alright. Fuck gravity.
Jesus.
I can't wait for Monty to put that on the shirt.
First WrestlePurists line of match, just that snuck in at the end. Fuck gravity.
Then you get after the physics community comes after you or something like that.
Yeah, they think I'm like a flat earther. I don't think gravity is like a real thing. Good shit. But yeah, man, Dax and Cash. This was a live promo in the building, but still like backstage. It wasn't like in ring or anything, but it was live as far as I can tell.
No, they had the blood and guts. They had the blood and guts thing in the back.
Yeah, this was last week.
Oh.
Yeah, they even said, honestly, they taped this last week. So in the timeline, this happened before they cut a live promo, but they aired it after.
Why did it?
Dex had that strange shirt on.
Wait, they cut 2 promos last night?
No, I'm saying saying Saturday did a live promo. Last Wednesday, they taped the promo to air the following Wednesday. Old school grabs, brother. They even said, to be clear, they wasn't trying to lie to him. They said last week, so, yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, Dax and Cash, it was kind of it was like a retaliation to the promo and of what Dax thought MJF was going to say, but he happened to just touch on all the things that MJF did actually say, so I don't know how much actual guessing was involved there, you know? You know, Dax done his thing where he was just like, I guess what, I can guess that you said something about my accent and my family and da-da-da, and they're just kind of, they're cutting FTR promo, brother. They're ready to defend tag wrestling. Cash is getting more comfortable.
Cash, I've always really good in these two promos. Like, I think Dax, there is a good promo in here. I agree with you that I don't necessarily think he had the best approach with. I didn't see your promo, but let me respond to every point. Probably could have edited that some, but I think they did a good job with this. I think the main thing is, while I know everyone's having fun with it, Dax Harwood, the character, and we'll leave it at the character, would absolutely resent the fact that MJF did a dance-off in the tournament final. Like, that is absolutely in character. It makes absolute sense. So I haven't got any issue with the way he's portrayed there. I think it makes sense. And I think it's going to pay off on Saturday because I think there's going to be some antics at the start of the match and then it's going to get really physical, right? Like, there's going to be a big chop exchange or something. Mm-hmm. It's going to heat up. So, very excited.
Yeah, man. Fired up. It should be a good one. Absolutely. Speaking of good ones, speaking of two people that can't have a bad one, really, Darby Allin, Swerve Strickland. They had their second or third match in AEW. All of them have been really good, man. This one, I don't know where I'd rank this one.
This was the best one.
Possibly.
It was my favorite one.
Yeah, there we go. Unanimous, pretty much. This was really good, man. I don't really know what to say about it other than this was really good as expected because it's Darby Allin and Swerve and they've got unique offense and Darby takes sick bumps and they've done some cool spots and this was just good shit. Do you know what I mean? This was a good match and they've done an angle after with AR Fox where it's playing off what happened earlier with AR Fox and Darby and AR Fox cost Darby the match, boy getting involved and it just made me laugh how he was like hooded up we didn't know who he was even though he was still in like, the cargos and everything. So come on. We know damn well who it was. And then man, AR Fox joins the Mogul Embassy after Swerve gets the win. But like I said, good match. Pretty decent angle, I guess. AR Fox joining the Mogul Embassy seems like a pretty positive move. Big fan of this. Good bit of TV. Manny, what do you think?
Monty, did you see Prince Nana try and put a triangle on Nick Wayne at the end?
He's so awesome, bro.
He's a legend. Bro, he's been around for like 20 years now. Like he's the man.
I don't really have much to say. Monty pretty much said it for me about this match, but I'm just shocked that they've done a great job keeping this feud between Darby and Swerve alive, while at the same time it not being on TV all the time. Because I think this is a sleeper for one of the best feuds in AEW, right behind the Elite and BCC. I mean, this is really good stuff, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, man. Anyone got much more to add? Because like I said, it wasn't the most. Has anyone got anything to add on AR Fox joining the Mogul Embassy?
I like that a lot because I think that means more consistent TV time for AR Fox and more specifically in a short term. But I think they're going to be doing a thing at Wembley, right? Probably with Sting or something to that effect. It feels like it. I mean, I guess you could do Christian and Luchasaurus versus Sting and Darby, I suppose. But I don't know. It feels like there's something to kind of watch for there. But I like it for AR Fox. As for the match, I thought it was really, really good. These guys have such good chemistry. They both have slightly unique rhythms, but they like gel perfectly. Hard to look past Darby Allin as the most consistent wrestler in like AEW history, to be honest. He's like, wherever he's in there, it's worth watching. You put him with a guy who's dynamic and explosive like Swerve, you get some incredible. That kick deal that Swerve threw on the outside? Did you see how fucking brutal that looked?
He jumped.
Yeah,
he jumped
their
he did-
timing together is incredible.
Yes,
Like it takes a
absolutely.
lot to pull that off and make it look how it did. So
It looked brutal. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
when he jumped up the
Tremendous
steps,
choice,
right?
Yeah, the sound on that and the way that Darby did that like knockout cell. Good lord. Yeah, this was really, really good stuff.
My biggest thing is
Yeah.
what they do with that's not my biggest thing. It's just a big thing to me. It was like what they do with Brian Cage and Big Bill because
They're a team, bro.
no, but
they're all in on them though, you know.
Yeah, it's because it's weird because Prince Nana was cutting a promo for them too. So I don't know if Big Bill's a part of the embassy or what now. So I don't know. Cool stuff.
Big Bill and Brian Cage, that's the team, bro. It feels like they're just gonna silently move Brian Cage away from him without doing like a big leaving angle, you know.
Right.
Well, you still have the 6-man titles.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they'll just book the match and they'll drop the belts, like, you know, on a random Thursday that nobody watches.
I will say though, I mean, if you want to do an angle, I'll tune into Rampage to watch Gates of Agony versus Big Bill and Brian Cage. Give me some of that.
Yeah.
Someone clip that, please. But, he's
Fired
right
up,
though.
man,
I mean, I was on the saying
Fired
that.
up. But yeah, man, we'll see where all this plays out. Good match, good angle. Hopefully, it has some good stuff for the future. This is the sort of stuff that you should be doing on TV, you know? It's what TV is for, Joe. Anyway, backstage with the Jericho Appreciation Society. And, you know, the troops of the Appreciation Society, they're tired of Jericho, man. They want commitment from Jericho, or they can't give it to him. And they seem to be giving up on Jericho as their leader. You know, they kind of leave him in the locker room by himself, and he's got some stuff to figure out. Charlie, you know, it's emotional times, man.
It is. I'm sure it is for some people.
Yeah,
I watched
like
the
Jericho
segment.
himself, you know.
Yeah. It is interesting to me that, like, with a majority of the JAS, they're just quietly disbanding it like this. Like, the main focus is on Sammy and Danny, and I guess they were, like, the main characters outside of Jericho, so I don't know. It's happening. I'm sure some people are enjoying it more than I am, but it's not, like, offensive or anything. It's just not what I watch Dynamite for, so.
Yeah, it's not the most electric thing in the world. Manny, your favourite stable's breaking up, bro.
JS? I mean, yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Sometimes things come to an end. I mean, I don't know what you want to say about it, but I just...
that was very poignant. Very poignant, man. Manny's right. Sometimes things come to an end.
Just glad to see Tay back, you know. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
People are still talking about Gravity in the live chat, which is, don't know why, but you know, we've moved on. Yeah,
you alluded to things a moment ago.
Are they that behind, or are they?
No, Monty did that thing where he was like, "This is the kind of stuff that should be on TV." You know,
it should be.
Yeah, but you know, the way you said it was implying there were things on the show that shouldn't be. That's all.
Oh, there's loads of those every week, mate. Anyway, where was it? JS backstage. I asked Charlie about it, asked Manny about it. Hulbert.
Yeah.
I know you're heartbroken.
Oh my god. I don't know if I can go on much longer. I thought this was actually quite well done. There is definitely an ironic pop to it for me because of how hard Chris is trying to act.
Yes, indeed.
I did think, like, there is something I do find compelling about the idea that while these people have been complete pieces of shit for the last 18 months, at least they were loyal to each other. And now Jericho is even breaking that, you know, like, I do think it's I do think it's a good deal. I'm glad they're telling the story. And, you know, I think there's always room to do this kind of, because you did invest a lot of time in this act, man. This act was central to that TV in 2022. So I think this is all pretty good, honestly. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I think it's decent TV.
Yeah, man, they've been through the ups and downs together, you know, and they've kept it loyal to the soil, bro. You know, Jericho's the one ditching them. It's disgraceful, you know.
Well,
it's disgraceful. But yeah, man, Dunmaz, $5. He says that Tajiri hitting Jack Perry with a buzzsaw kick gonna hit like crack.
That's right, Tajiri.
Well, hold on. There's some ideas. I appreciate this. I'm not as down on this idea as I used to be. You know. Imagine how much Tony had to pay Tajiri to do a job to Jack Perry. Sizable fee, I feel.
Yeah.
What if they bring Psychosis back in for a night?
Shout out the Oracle of Wrestling. That's what we say when that happens, brother. It'd be DVR and Dynamite again. Anyway, what's next, Money? What's wrong, mate?
Britt Baker, DMD versus Taya Valkyrie.
All right, fair enough.
A lot of talk about this match. I was going to say for better or for worse, but mainly for worse. This was fucking brutal. You know, there's no sugarcoating it. Absolutely not. It started off pretty brutal. It wasn't as brutal at the end, but it was still, you know, it just wasn't there. It wasn't their best of days, man. It was not their best of days. Britt Baker, of course, I know she's not exactly fucking, you know, she's not exactly, you know, Mercedes Moné out there. She's never had that reputation anyway, but, you know, she can normally get through matches pretty inoffensively, and normally it's not as brutal as this. Taya is not the sort of wrestler that you'd associate with carrying lesser wrestlers to, like, good matches, you know. Not too much on Taya, because I do think that she probably was the more competent half of this match. Britt just looks really, like, off the ball, rusty, kind of sloppy out there. It definitely wasn't her best hour. And the thing is that I've noticed a few times with Britt in singles matches especially, is that when things start to break down a little bit and she gets knocked off a rhythm, it goes, like, really bad, you know? So, yeah, this was just brutal. And I kind of feel for Britt in a way, because like I said, she's never been, you know, someone that we've regarded as a great worker or anything, but she had a really, like, tough night out there last night, you know? And she's one of those wrestlers that I think she's always looks her best. Like, we always say, like, you know, she's good in the tag matches, but I think there's also a lot to, you know, when she's wrestling frequently, and when she's out there frequently and she can get into a rhythm and a flow, her matches are a lot less inoffensive, you know. And when she has matches once in a while, like this one, it's you can really see the rust, you know. Pretty brutal, and I don't know what the actual fix is, because, like, do you just keep giving her matches like this until she picks up a bit of rhythm again, or do you put her in a tag team, or do you kind of just I don't know, you know, like, what? Because Britt Baker's, of course, a very valuable asset to AEW as a company, so it's tough.
You create a tag title, and you just keep her holding forever until she
doesn't need the title though. Like, shouldn't you, like, have the teams?
They did not have the roster for a tag division.
Yeah, it's like you'd make the division first, I guess. Like, you'd put Britt with someone and have her have, like, a bunch of tag matches and feuds with a few people. Then hopefully after that there'll be a demand for that. Then, you know. But right now there's no women's tag teams really. I guess you could say, and, you know, Tay J, but Tay is obviously pregnant. Fuck, that's is that it? You know.
I will say the match had a 1.19 on Cage Match, and it's up to 214, so it's growing.
I think Britt's back is an issue, to be totally honest. She talked about that being an issue earlier this year, and to your point, Monty, I'm not saying she was ever a you know, this, like, classical worker by any means, but she looks like actively slowed. She's really struggling to hit anything with any kind of oomph. And again, never the most dynamic wrestler, but, like, she looks to me like she's actively regressed, and I assume that's why. Before we get into any, like, last week we had a conversation about the women's division and the booking and the creative and all that stuff, but it's like, the truth is, before we even get to that stuff, there needs to be some real thought about what matches are being booked. Because if you're going to do one match a week, I'm sorry, like, we all had the same reaction to this match being booked. Every person in our circle was like, why are they booking that match? That's not going to be good. I don't understand how the people in the company couldn't see that issue coming from a mile away. Britt has looked this way for the last couple of singles matches. The match she had with Ruby a few weeks ago, remember we reviewed that?
Mm-hmm.
Was not a Matt Classic by any means. And Taya has her limitations, to say the least. And I mean that with all respect, but I don't know what they expected to be. And again, I'm not saying that to defend the performances, because neither performance was good. But what I'm saying is like how I just don't get how you get to the conclusion this is the match we should book. You know, I just don't get that at all, because we all knew it was the wrong match to book, and we're fucking idiots on a podcast.
Also,
so,
I said it when we was fucking on the watch along. You know, I'm a bit more comfortable on the watch alongs. You know, feel a bit more. You know, my opinions can be hidden within like a 3-hour show. You know, a lot harder to find. But I'm watching this match, bro. We're talking about like Inui versus Fulton or something at the same time as well. So like, was kind of distracted. Yeah. And like I locked into the match for like 2 minutes, and I was like, guys, what the fuck is happening right now? Like I was like, who agents these things, bro? Like, Joe, we've spoke about this a few times in like private. It's like sometimes WWE can get away with like 2 absolute shit of women out there because they'll have like a genius fucking produce it, like TJ Wilson or someone who's used to working with lesser workers like of the women's division, so they know how to kind of put these matches together to hide each other's flaws. I never see that in AEW, bro. Like, it's just like Britt Baker and Taya Valkyrie.
I also think
good luck.
The issue here was like there's a real stylistic clash in this, because Taya, her stuff's okay when she's like stationary and they're in a phone booth. Her stuff looks okay, but she struggles to add like any pace to her matches at this point, you know, and that's always been an issue for Britt. So the match's rhythm and pace was just so slow. It was really, really tough.
Look at this piece of shit,
bro.
Yo, what's good? Talk to the people.
I was about to talk to you.
I'm just here. I'm chilling. I'm scrolling Twitter. I see a screenshot where the queen of the Outcasts herself, Saraya, liked a tweet from WrestlePurists' own backup Hangman, and the tweet read, "Kind of feels like the Outcast story was a big waste of time. Obviously, there's no controlling the hater injury, but we didn't get blood and guts out of it. The whole surrounding division paused, and it feels like very little was accomplished broadly in the first half of the year." Hey, man. I can't disagree. For once, I can't disagree with what Hangman said. But her liking this on her account is
no one in AEW gives a fuck about that sort of stuff, you know. About
it's just like
getting in trouble for liking it. They don't give a shit over there, you know. Like they'll tweet it, you know. Like,
Monty, do you remember what I said to you yesterday during the watch along
regarding the Outcast?
Oh no, Taya Valkyrie versus DMD.
Oh, there was a lot said.
I said that match was horrific, right? But I don't think it was bad enough to cause a week's worth of discourse. And Monty is like, it fucking should. And I guess I'm the idiot, because we're definitely going to be talking about this match for longer than a week.
Yeah, it was
1.5 on Cage Match.
Bro, that's why last night when we were watching it, bro, I had to talk about something else. And that's why I brought up the fight, bro. It was bad, bro.
The Valhalla spot was where they like just fell. That was
that's when I brought up Inoue and Fulton. I said, bro,
I can forgive that though, you know,
because shit happens, right? But it was
it's for me. It was the moment that made me say on the watch along, like, what the fuck is happening right now? It was like there was like a sequence of like Britt Baker. She was like letting off some offense, and it was literally. I know people say it as a beat, but like it was literally like it was in slow motion, you know. Like they were trying to figure out, you know, when sometimes like when a match isn't going quite to plan or how they envisioned it backstage or whatever, and you can kind of see them trying to work it out as they get close together, you know. And, like, it was brutal, bro. It was brutal.
I think some of the comments, like what Taya was saying, maybe, I think people were going a little too far on it, but I mean, the match sucked. It sucked.
But that's the issue is some people don't realize you can stop it. The match sucked.
And not just personal insults.
You also don't have to like direct that comment to them. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to at them on Twitter.
Exactly.
Bro, I think the people that at the wrestlers when they do, man, kind of sick with, bro. They already vanity search. You don't need to tag them. They're gonna see it. So it's just
Tagging is crazy as well.
Yeah, like why, bro? Like why are you harassing these people?
It's so lame.
Bro, for like all this shit I talk about FTR, I've never tagged them once. Like, and even I try not to put the Dynamite hashtag in this shit too, but you know sometimes I just Dax got to see this. But anyway, it's just like I don't know. People are insane. Fucking, I think a lot of the discourse that's going on today is because of how upset people are with the women's division in general for like all of 2023. Like if it was just like mediocre, like just a little bit below average, and you have that match, it's Britt's pretty bad, ain't she? And everybody's like, yeah, she's pretty bad. And everybody just moves on with their day. Like it's not all this discourse is going on right now.
Yeah,
but it's going better right now too because of that other tweet that's going around right now from Lufisto. But I
mean,
what did Lufisto tweet?
Oh my god, hold on, I'm gonna read it off for y'all.
Oh no.
Oh my, bro! Everybody's just like posting that Shaq meme where he has the camera, then he turns and the camera follows. And I've been on the Purists account, like me and Marcus, I think, just retweeting every single person who's done it. We're at like 15 now. But Lufisto said, "It's cute how people blame booking for a bad women's division. Talent with too much power, talent denigrating each other, talent trash talking potential employees." So they never get in as soon as they walk in. It starts here. Signed off as the one you call the effing French Canadian asshole. So I don't know. Do regular Canadians have beef with French Canadians? I assume she's talking about DMD.
It's something Manny would know.
Manny, you know what's
I thought she was talking about DMD.
I think she's talking about DMD too, because Ty is not French Canadian, but I don't.
Ty's also new there, right? Like,
yeah, so she wouldn't. She didn't stop anything for Lufisto back in 2019.
Oh yeah, you hear a lot about Britt Baker's politics and.
Now you heard AOT's segment today.
Yeah, man. And Britt Baker. It's nothing new though. It's like everyone's heard at least one rumor of Britt Baker, like politics or falling out or something, So it doesn't surprise me that she isn't the most favorite amongst some of the women that have came and gone through AEW over the years.
The French Canadian is her signing off.
No, but I'm saying because Ty is Canadian herself, so it's like, is she? The regular Canadians have beef with French Canadians?
No, there's no such thing as Canadian on Canadian beef.
All right. Canadian correspondent Manny the Hooper.
Told you, he's the expert in it. Super chats. Phantom for the win. FTW. £2. Appreciate you as always. Britt is 4 out of 10. Britt is in 4 out of 10 of the worst AEW matches ever. I mean, I unfortunately don't doubt that, to be honest.
We'll pull a cage match.
Somebody sent it to the Imperius account. It was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yuzura Hart, $10. Appreciate you as always. 2 women with a level of star power in wrestling, consistently featured on every show, and they had a stinker. Can't blame booking every week, man. Get Double J to book more house shows. Yeah, there's it's rough, man. It's rough, and obviously we've kind of gone around about it loosely. We've done more of an in-depth conversation about it last week, to be honest. So it's kind of funny that, funny, sad, however you want to approach it. That this week this happened, and then the AEW production team had quite the blunder where they focused in the crowd on a sign that says "Book the women's division better." It's not like this just flashed on the screen. They held it on there for a couple of seconds.
I think that started off a lot of this discourse too. Like, I think if that sign's not posted, a lot of this discussion we're having today doesn't happen.
It's just kind of
Joe always looks so startled when he hears a noise that he's not expecting.
Bro, did you just see what happened to Manny?
I did, but I saw what happened to your reaction as well. You look very frightened.
His mic and he fell down. Are you okay, Manny?
Yeah, I'm good. I actually hit the wire, but it's just so funny how the match sucked real bad, and then that sign, but why would you even pen to that sign after you knew the match sucked? So I mean, just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was certainly a choice.
And it's not even. I would understand if you went real quick, but they just held it there. Like
it was also like it wasn't in the background. It was like the only thing they.
It was the sign.
Yeah, bro, it's focused on. Like it's crazy that that sign got more focus than what AEW give the division as a whole. So it's crazy, isn't it? You know,
it's crazy.
It is. Dunmaz, again, $5. Appreciate you as always. If you're going to have that full mount spot where a person is raining down punches, I feel like the person on bottom just got to eat them for real. Nah, there's ways you can pull it off. The way those strikes Taylor was throwing last night were fucking hilarious, bro.
Hold on.
You're right, but to be fair, that I don't think that was something they intended to do. It was more a case of I just accidentally hit my finish. Which how the fuck are we going to go carry on from here? And that was kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't make it better, but I think it was very much kind of an adjustment to the fact that Ty hit her finish when she was supposed to have it counted about 2 minutes into the match, unfortunately. So,
bro, we all said how bad that match was going to be.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
And the child's like, I don't be all right.
Literally just saying, like, we said last week when it got announced. Like,
I was like, I don't be all right.
I actually thought Tyra and Sky had an okay match on Saturday. I had no issue with that match.
They did.
But as soon as Tyra said Britt's name, I was like, oh, fuck, like, why are we doing this match? It's just, they need to wrestle someone who can inject the pace into the match, the motion into the match. You can't just put them against it. It's not going to work. But
and then nothing even came of it. It was just a match.
Yeah, just to get Britt back in the win column. I think that's all. That was the only purpose of it. And if you was gonna do a match to get Britt Baker in the win column, Taya Valkyrie is quite a bizarre choice, Showtime Spurs $2. Was it an accident to show the sign? Well,
no.
Obviously you'd assume so, but like, the fucking bro, they might have even zoomed in on it. Like it was.
Bro, a rogue cameraman saying enough's enough. Taking matters into his own hands. Be like, I'm gonna fix this women's division. Even if my kids can't eat next month. God damn it! Just
throwing his camera down after.
Stormed out. Yeah, it was. But again, women's division. We talked about it on last week's podcast, and it came up again this week. Interesting times, man. I'll say interesting. It's a shame because, I think a lot of us, all of us here are pretty big fans of women's wrestling, except for Manny because he's a misogynistic piece of shit.
Yeah.
We'd like to see more, and it's frustrating because it's not like I can be like, oh wow, at least in WWE they're kidding, like they're not. Like Rhea Ripley's a superstar. Like, yeah, they've done a great job with making her feel really important and literally one of the biggest stars on the show. But the division as a whole is booked. Like, it's garbage. Similar to AEW's, man. It's not like it's for lack of talent. It's definitely not for lack of talent. They've got more talent. They've both got more talent that they clearly know what to do with, which just makes it all the more disappointing. And when I put on, I know I've banged on about it on every podcast I've been on this week, but when I put on the 5-star GP opening day the other day, fucking hell, this is what's achievable, And I'm not expecting AEW Dynamite to have 5-star GP quality matches on it every week, but fuck, at least give us something, whether that's WWE or AEW.
Once a month, bro. If they cared, we could have that quality match once a month. So she didn't Rio out there. Look at the roster, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that can give us those quality of matches, and they just don't do it. And they give us DMD or whatever. Because fair enough, she's a big star. Watch Ty out there, bro. And I don't even dislike Ty. I've liked Ty since Lucha Underground. But it's just like, why is she out there with DMD of all people? Like, you can mix and match, put the work rate people in there with people that aren't that good, and then we could get something that resembles passable, even above passable. But they don't care.
It's crazy that they didn't even put Athena on TV or something like that after that crazy match she had.
Bro, she was the talk of fucking wrestling after that match.
Same with Willow, bro. She won the fucking Owen last week.
Like,
Yeah.
Wait, that's last week?
Oh, roughly. It's been... How long is it? When was the Owen final? Was it last week or the week before? Friday?
What?
It was Friday 2 Saturdays ago. Right?
Either way, there's been a little follow-up, That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, little follow-up. Yeah, man. So, women's division bad. We've said it many times. We'll probably say it most weeks going forward until something gets rectified about it. We haven't even started on Chris Statlander.
But, bro. Where the fuck? Where was she this week?
Bro,
where were either of the champions? Where were the champions?
Let's move on.
Monty, you want to hear this match that just got announced?
Go on, man.
Oh no.
It is for the NWA World Title. It's a bull rope match. Tyrus versus EC3. If Tyrus loses, he will retire from pro wrestling.
No.
So he's winning.
Yeah, that little manny giggle.
So he's winning.
Yeah.
We will be watching WrestlePurists watch along on the Twitch. NWA, what is it, 75?
Joe, remember last show when you were... I'll never forget when Joe was doing... Joe used to do this thing and it really popped me. I hope one day we can get back to him doing something similar to it.
We're not going to get back.
But it was like, you know how at the moment, guys, that he does like the weekly, like matches of the week column thing that he does on the site for us. He used to do one on his own like Substack or personal blog page that he had, and it was like a best of the rest. And it would be like, the best match or best promo segment from like MLW or an NWA match that's worth checking out. You know what I mean? Like a proper best of the rest. I could put time into it like a real sicko. And,
4 months of that, brother. The best one of my NWA coverage was I reviewed the Crockett Cup on the Late Night Grin. And I started
That's what I was getting to.
I started the show by saying... Who in the chat watched this show? And there was like 40 people in the chat. And then legitimately the chat just became just no. Just like not one person had seen the show. That was kind of summed it up.
It's just not the idea of you sitting through the Crockett Cup to review it, like all these shitty tag matches in NWA.
2 nights of it.
Wait, when is Wembley?
A month today, man. 27th of August.
The show's on the 27th.
Look, man, we might have to start the 24-hour stream with some NWA.
Oh, that's awesome.
At least the main event. We will be tuned in for the main event.
I'll have to hop on for that. That sounds good. That sounds good shit.
He says it's a 2-night historic Gates, August 26th and the 27th.
Just somewhere else at companies, man. Let me tell you.
Y'all can say no in the chat all y'all want, bro, but it's happening.
Man, those NWA cards are super long. Like, you see,
bro, this is crazy. We're not watching the whole show. We will be tapped in for the main event.
Good shit, man. Well, debatable. Main event time. Lucha Bros come out on top of a. This was like a. I don't even know what they're called. We was trying to figure this out last night. It's like a 3-way triple threat tag.
I was lost on this. I thought Yuta was the tag partner. It was Moxley the whole time.
Yeah, it's Lucha Bros versus Claudio and Mox versus Trent and Chuck of the Best Friends. Action packed as expected. Felt a bit randomly thrown together, but it seems like they're going somewhere with it. Like I said, Lucha Bros got the win here. Action packed main event, and. I believe on next week's Dynamite 200, it will be Trent versus Penta versus Mox.
Yeah.
So that's what we're getting next week. This was a solid main event. It just didn't feel... You didn't feel like it had the, like the magnitude of a Dynamite main event. Do you know what I mean? It felt like this could have gone like... I feel like they could have swapped this and the Swerve Derby match, because they ended with the mogul angle and made that feel a bit more significant.
Yeah.
But obviously that's, you running the risk of, you closing the show with AR fuck, and it's like, how significant would that feel, So yeah, but it was good stuff though. It was still good stuff. Not necessarily a major complaint, but Joe, what did you think of the Dynamite main event?
Yeah, it was pretty good, mouthful. I didn't love the kind of like walk and brawl they got started with, because you could tell like guys were trying to get in position for things. It was a little clunky, but that happens. But once they got in the ring, I thought it was a good time. I did think it was neat. Dynamite doesn't often do those deals where there's like a follow up from one show to like within one show. And on this one, you had Day Fox deal, and you also had Orange coming back to get Moxley here, right? Which I thought was neat, and I like that kind of thing where there's a thread through the show. So I like that. Happy to see the Lucha Bros back in a big spot on TV, especially getting the win. So absolutely. I liked it. I agree with you. It's not like, it's not a main event I'm probably going to be remembering particularly long. It didn't feel particularly substantial, but I thought it was entertaining, if nothing else.
Yeah, man, it was all right. It was a pretty good bit of business. Just a quick reminder, everyone, please like the video, get those likes up. We need some more likes on this video. Not enough for my liking. I hope I haven't offended too many people. And get those likes up for us. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get the super chats coming. We've appreciated them throughout the night. I believe we've got 1 minute while this loads up for me. I'm a bit behind. I've already pulled this one up. I don't know why it was still in the little section we have for the super chats on the StreamYard. Apologies, people. But Charlie, you like the main event?
I did like the main event. I don't think it should have been the main event, but I did enjoy it. But like with the people that were in the match, it would have been hard for them to just not have a good match. So I was always going to enjoy this. Yeah. I am happy that there is a focus on tag team wrestling with real tag teams in AEW. It makes me very happy. I've been bitching about it for fuck knows how long now. So hopefully we'll get back to something decent. And the post-match stuff was cool. But I don't know. I would have main evented with Darby and Swerve, but good shit.
Nice dog.
I can't get distracted because I could hear her coming downstairs.
It's good stuff. Shout out Charlie's dog.
Very dog-friendly show.
What's his name? Her name?
This one's Peanut.
Peanut. Boy or girl?
She's a girl.
Nah.
The one that's usually on screen is Oscar, and he's a boy. So.
God bless. Got a whole family. Manny the Hooper.
Yes.
Was this worthy of Hooperism?
Yeah, it was fun. Penta had his working boots on. I was kind of waiting for Pride and Power to come out. I didn't even know if they were going to be there or not, just because I read a tweet saying that they got their names back.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you read a tweet and overreacted accordingly, man? Is that what you're saying? You immediately assumed things based on fuck.
I was like, oh man, LA. I was like,
LA Knight.
Look, I'm gonna expose Manny real fast because like only me and Monty really caught it when we were watching the show. Like the chat didn't really catch it, but there was like 3 minutes left in this match, and Manny was like, "Oh, Claudio's tagging with Mox. Claudio's tagging with Yuta."
That is insane.
Manny, the match is over, bro.
Because he'd questioned what Mox was doing at one point in the match when he was making sure that no one was like coming in to like break up the pin. I was just like, what do you mean? He was like guarding the pin. Like he's in the
I kept saying, yeah, Yuta. I'm like, what's Yuta doing? He's not doing anything. He's just
Only Manny, man.
And then I was watching fucking Chucky T over there throwing some shitty knees to Mox, and I was like, I hope to God Mox doesn't sell him. And he was selling him. I mean,
real well.
Mox is a great guy, man.
We probably won't see Utes in a while. He was an emergency clearance for blood and guts, but he's still not. He's not 100%. I mean, even during blood and guts, you could see when he was making his way towards the ring, he was like gingerly jogging down there, like he wasn't trying to re-aggravate anything. So we'll probably put a pin in him till after Big Wham.
Man, he's the first podcaster with CTE.
That's quite aggressive.
Just smashes his head into the webcam over and over again, get himself ready, fires himself up. Like Goldberg.
The Goldberg of wrestling podcasts.
You tweet live in 5 and man, he concusses himself to get in the right frame of mind. Hooper.
Real hooping. But yeah, man, a pretty solid main event, but not the most super memorable AEW Dynamite main event, because the bar's super high, and this was good. This was very good, but
on paper, I thought this would be a better. I mean, the show was awesome, but I mean, I just thought it would have been. pizzazz. Like it'll be like more, a blow-away match.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Because we was talking about. Obviously, we're all here as well now from the pre-show yesterday. So we was pretty ready.
Yeah.
Everyone and Manny, Jesus.
Pre-show post Manny.
Oh, poor Manny. Anyway, we were saying it was a pretty decent lineup, and we'll see what happens. And we was like, what's going to be the fallout from Blood and Guts and stuff like that, and what's going to happen with that whole storyline and what's next for all those people. And we was wondering about starting off the road to All In. And I guess this is kind of how we segue from the Dynamite review to the next thing. We've still got nothing set for All In. Of course, there's a report earlier about what Sean Rossap reported about Ospreay and Jericho being talked about on the New Japan side of things. But as far as stuff being set on screen and stuff, we ain't got anything. And as I've mentioned a million times on this podcast, we're a month away from the biggest show in company history. We're in the most important, period of time in company history since the first episode of TV. I guess you could argue even more important, but of course, number one being number one is always going to be significant. But nothing planned for All In at the moment. Just a couple reports, and I'm sure Tony and Cole have got some sort of idea of what they want to do, but we're not getting that impression from watching the TV.
I knew shit wasn't gonna get announced yesterday, bro. I said it on the pre-show.
I didn't know that was gonna be a big deal, and then the Elite not being on TV.
Bro,
it's not so much stuff not being announced. It's just nothing being like.
Oh,
they still don't acknowledge that it's happening.
As the only black member of the Elite, I don't think them not being on TV yesterday was a big deal. Like just on the injuries, they went through more shit than the BCC did. Maybe save Huda.
So
I love your brother, but it's bullshit.
I didn't think it was a big deal, bro.
It's bullshit.
Ayo just said
I wanted to see the Elite on TV every week. I love that episode of Dynamite last night. I enjoyed it a lot, except for Tag versus Gravity was a meme. All right, so you take it or leave it. Monty's definitely leaving it. And then the women's match. But other than that, I liked everything on Dynamite last night.
The show was fine.
It was a good show, but the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club were out there, they were immediately jumping into matches, and the Elite said nothing, and they were the ones that won. There was not even like a pre-tape for it.
Definitely could have been pre-tape.
They don't got that dog, you know.
Ideally, you would have got a promo like last week post-match to kind of put a bow on the Elite's victory, and then you could add it this week. But it's interesting. It's definitely a show that I thought it was a good episode of TV, but it works, I think, better in a vacuum than it does in terms of building to anything necessarily. Yeah. It did build to things, don't be wrong, but it wasn't super newsworthy, I didn't think, in that regard.
I get what people say, that we still have 4 weeks of 5 hours of TV time per week, but they have 2 pay-per-views to build to right now in the space of a week. So that's 20 hours for each pay-per-view, really. That's not a lot of time to establish these cards.
TK is really
you can't actually count Rampage as well if you're trying to be a serious human being.
Yeah, come on.
4 hours, so 16 hours per week. Or 60 hours before each pay-per-view. I'm getting lost, I'm so stressed about it.
Building towards Wembley matches on Rampage is insane.
Well, who knows what's going to be the outcome of this fucking battle royal and what the winners actually get and where the tag match is going to be. So.
I mean, it does feel like the elephant in the room here is the fact that we don't know where this show is airing. I mean,
we don't know what it's airing on. We don't know any of the matches that are going to be set up, except for maybe MJF and Cole seems like something that could be, but we've seen on TV that could then go on to Wembley. That's the only thing.
You guys shouldn't stress out about where you guys are going to watch. You guys are going to be there. That should be a me and AO problem.
Facts.
I honestly I'm chilling it because I'm going to Chicago the next week, so I'm hoping if I'm going to get something I like over there of that full night. I'm not worried about the card. I think the show will be great anyway. I do think, in an ideal world, it would be more present on the TV show that in a month they're running a massive stadium into the biggest show they've ever done. I hope sincerely the reason it isn't as present is because, as I said, they haven't announced the deal yet. Hopefully, once they announce that deal, they'll be really ramping it up. But I can't.
I really hope they have
well, of course, but I don't know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
have they even got the deal yet?
And then
that's what I mean, right? Yeah.
Even if they have the deal, there's also the reports of Max or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays doesn't have the infrastructure to stream live sports. Even though that's not true, they're doing it with
FIFA.
What are they doing it with? Is it Premier? No, it's not Premier League. What are they doing it with, Manny?
It was I think it was in Mexico. They were showing some Mexico games or something like that.
Yeah, bro. Like they were showing something. So I don't know. No, I'm not spending $100 on it. I'm not spending any money on AEW until the elite get paid. So
I hope they do like a package deal because I don't know if I can spend $50.
They've got to do a package deal, yeah.
If they told me for some perverse way in my head, if they told me it was $100 for both, maybe I'll pay for it. But I mean,
I feel like if it's not a package deal, the Chicago show is fucked. Yeah. I don't care what they find it, just because people want to see. Yeah, because people just want to see the novelty of the stadium at least, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I can't pretend I'm surprised because like Tony has many strengths, but he isn't like
a promoter.
The promotional part of his game is not the most dynamic.
Tony Khan told me personally that post Forbidden Door we would see stuff for All In.
I think you are. The thing is, I think we are seeing
in front of the whole world, Charlotte.
How long ago was Forbidden Door at this point?
It was the end of June. It was like the 25th of June. It's now the 27th of July.
Wow.
What are we doing? We know nothing.
Well, Tony Khan also did say we're going to know about Ring of Honor and New Japan being our honor club, and we never found out about it.
Bro, you want to break this record, right? You want to break this attendance record. What better way to advertise than to 1 million Americans every week and however many people live in Europe watching this on Fight or whatever the fuck y'all watch it on over there. That All In's coming. We're building towards All In. You don't want to miss All In. Bro, it's like an afterthought right now. Like who watches Dynamite last night and said, I gotta get my tickets for All In? No one.
It feels like all of the talent should be talking about this too, right? Like it feels like all of the talent should be like, I'm gonna go to Wembley as world champ, or whatever it may
history
be.
And and blah blah blah.
You know, like,
and even have like shitty heels talk about how they're gonna get on the card, and like, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking make it feel like the biggest thing in company history, because guess what? It fucking is. You know,
victory lap. They should. There's only a lot of tickets. It's just victory lap.
There's only like 10 people that I feel confident they're gonna be on the show. And everybody else is just like in limbo, like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna.
They don't even know. They're like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's reports of Ospreay versus Jericho. Then there's, I guess it's fair for us to assume that Cole versus MJF has a very good chance of being on it, judging from what we saw last night. But other than that, there's no other hints on TV of what sort of matches they're building to and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Well, let's be honest, it's ridiculous.
For this long to start announcing matches, they should have done the All-In talent graphics, because that would have got people talking online again. Because all people are talking about All-In right now is the fact that there's nothing happening.
Literally, just tweet out Kenny Omega's All-In.
All-In, and you would have had
Okada's All-In, Ospreay's All-In. You're building buzz while still continuing to be lazy and not booking anything.
And those merch issues.
That easy.
It's so frustrating. That it's just.
Bro, I could make those graphics on DeviantArt right now on whatever these apps are. What's that shit that people make? I don't know.
Canva.
Bro. Like, Canva. Like I could make this shit on Canva right now.
Hey man, don't get me started on the merch, man.
Oh, the merch. You see CM Punk reposted that picture of the Death Before Dishonor t-shirt with the wrong date and city on it.
Wait, what? Bro, he posted that shirt and everybody was laughing. I had no idea what everybody was laughing about. I was like, what's so funny about this shirt?
Of course you did.
I didn't even know this was a thing that happened, but I'm not surprised, of course.
But yeah. Bro, it's not even like any of us here. None of us would be crazy enough to say that we think the card's going to be bad or anything. But it's more just kind of how they're approaching this build is mind-bogglingly like frustrating. Because as we've all echoed, they should be shouting about it, having a victory lap, really driving home what they're about to do and make history. And as I just said, it's literally the biggest event in company history, and probably will hold that title for years to come, because they're never going to get the opportunity to do this in this context, in this time, like this again. Debut in the UK, Wembley Stadium, novelty, etc., etc. It's it's a once in a once in a decade kind of happening. Probably more than that, once in like a generation sort of thing. So
I'll never ever make fun of a WWE wrestler pointing at the WrestleMania sign ever again, bro.
Nope.
Never
ever.
No, bro. I think I still make fun of Darby doing it.
But yeah, that's just my thing, bro. It's like I don't know, bro. It's kind of what I always said about like it's not a big deal of Elite being off, but it's like I just think it's brutal, bro. I think Tony. I don't know if it's Tony, the talent combination of both. It's probably is the latter, and it's more of a combination of both. But bro, Tony, as an owner and as the person paying the bills, you gotta put your fucking foot down, bro. Because like we're coming out of blood and guts last week. We're kicking off the road to fucking Wembley Stadium with 80,000 people, most important event in history, etc., etc., etc. And we've got more than half the top stars in the company taking the fucking week off, going on vacation, etc., etc. And I get the relaxed schedule and the regular weeks off to recharge, and when you feel like you need it, you can take a week off, and that's a really big sell for AEW. That's a big sell for Tony Khan for convincing talent, especially compared to the schedule of WWE. But let's not take the piss.
Let me tell you something, Monty, real quick, man. You don't need a vacation, man. When you work 1 day a week, man, you don't need vacation,
man. Bro. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's like it's the most important. It's the most important period in company history since the TV debut. People are taking weeks off. People are taking vacations. You got 2 pay-per-views coming up. One's at fucking Wembley Stadium. The TV negotiations are going on at the moment, or they're about to be finalised, etc. It's literally, I'm not being hyperbole or anything or exaggerate. It's literally the most important period in company history.
My main issue with the Elite taking this week off is they can take the time off they want. Talent can take time off. I don't care. It's off the back of Blood and Guts, and All In was their thing. That was their thing before AEW, and we're a month away, and no one's talking about it, and it's very annoying as a fan.
It's crazy. It's like the absentee list last night. The absentee list from last night. People in the building, yeah. Some of them done pre-tapes, whatever, A lot of them could have done more than a pre-tape if there were some of the names that done a pre-tape. But MJF, Adam Cole, Hangman, Omega, Jericho, Bucks. Where was Chris Statlander? Where was Tony Storm? Where are these people, bro? Like, it's just not good enough to do a filler episode. Like, to AO's point, the episode last night was actually like, it was a pretty decent episode. It's not like I came out of it like, oh, that episode fucking sucked. But it was a filler episode, bro. And we were trying to kick off the road to All In, and we've just came out of a huge thing with Blood and Guts. We've got no Elite. They've decided, we're going on vacation. We're going to take the week off. That's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit.
I think your frustration's aimed in the wrong direction for that, though. Because I don't think it's a case of them just telling Tony, like, yeah, we're going to go away for a week. Like, I don't think they have anything particularly going on creatively is why they're off for a week.
That's what I'm saying? That's what I said at the start. Both. I don't know if it's Tony needs to put his foot down, if the talent needs to stop being so comfortable with being able to just take a week off, etc., etc. It's just it's ridiculous.
I think there are bigger issues than us like policing the vacation, but your actual point is absolutely correct. Yes, I don't think this episode did a lot for building to the biggest stretch of shows they've ever had. Absolutely.
Like I said, man, some of these wrestlers, man, they don't even work. Come on, bro. You don't even be able to take vacation.
Bro, imagine finding out like the week before Double or Nothing. Yo, Chris Statlander is going to come back Double or Nothing, win the belt, and a month later, nobody's going to give a fuck what she has going on for Wembley.
But yeah, man. No, like I said, bro. Like, I think the list of absentees from talent that were there live, considering where we're at, where they're at as a company, is like ridiculous, bro. Again, MJF, Cole, Hangman, Omega, Bucks, Jericho, Stat, Tony. We mentioned earlier the lack of follow-up on Athena and Willow. And this is also when you've got Eddie over in Japan in the fucking G1, so you can't use him. Brian's fucking arm's hanging off, so you can't use him. It's like, so why do these, like, it's ridiculous to me, bro. Like, who was actually at Dynamite last night then? Fucking Mox. Mox the one carrying the flag fucking by himself again like he was in 2022. It's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit.
It's just... I know, Monty. I know you were saying that Wembley's the biggest day in AEW history. I still think it's Monty after Brawl. Monty, I think it's still Moxley after Brawl for Out when he came out and cut that promo.
Yeah, bro, that Moxley promo so fucking rings echoes even more now because it's like Mox, he's just in it for the love of the game, bro. He's there every week. I don't even think Mox is very much a guy who's like, I need to carry AEW. I think he just loves wrestling and he just wants to be there every week. You know?
Remember he's supposed to go on vacation? That was a meme for a bit, and then he just never went on vacation.
Bro, it was a kayfabe vacation. He was never going to go on vacation.
Hey, well, what are you doing? What are you breaking?
That thing got so out of hand, bro.
So it just snowballed. He was like, yo, I was just joking. Like, it was just promo material, yo. Like, for months, people was like, "Oh my god, poor Mox. His vacation. Dean, come back to WWE. We'll let you have all the vacations you want."
I just vacation. It's like I said. I done a tweet on the account last night, and it was like, it probably would have been better if they'd done the MJF Adam Cole thing live, you know. And like people were replying to me like, they recorded it last week, bro. I was like okay. Like, do you know what I mean?
It doesn't change the thing that you said, bro.
It's the same. It's like the Bucks thing, bro. People are like, oh, well, they're on vacation. Yeah, they fucking shouldn't be, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like,
and look, MJF and Cole aren't on vacation. They got a wrestle on Saturday.
Go after All In and All Out, man. Jesus. Like, again, as Joe very much tried to kind of be my safety net, you know, not trying to like fully police people's vacations. And I don't think people should be working 365 days a year and work the WWE slave schedule. But timing, you know,
6 weeks.
No, the reason I just halted you there for a moment is what I mean. Matt Jackson he's feeling it physically, and that blood and guts match I'm sure didn't help. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be like these fucking losers going on vacation, which is not what Manny said, but he implied. No, but look, it was unplanned. But I think we all agree in terms of lack of promotion and the fact the show just feels like a thing that's coming up rather than the biggest thing ever, and this announcement of them on the world stage and so on and so forth. Yeah, I have no kind of question in that critique whatsoever. I think you're right.
You just think that Tony, 1 month out from the biggest fucking week of his fucking promotional career as a wrestling promoter, would round up his top stars and be like, guys, I fucking need you for the next 4 to 6 weeks. You know, like, I need you more than I fucking ever needed you. I'm in these TV negotiations. We've got 80,000 tickets sold in London. We've got All Out, which we're going to have to somehow pull off the week after. And I need you guys around to help build to these huge, momentous fucking pay-per-views that we're about to do and make this really, you know, and drive this home and let's have a historic month, you know. And you kick off said month with fucking 75% of your top stars fucking either on vacation, having a week off, or just not being used or whatever. Because as far as like Chris and Tony are concerned, I don't know if they were in the building. As far as the others, please correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I am aware, currently none of those people I mentioned were actually in the building last night, which to me is like, again, I've said it a lot, fucking ridiculous.
Don't get me started on Chris Dalliner, man. I mean,
TK's got the Jaguars are in training camp, brother.
And Fulham's in the middle of transfer.
Transfer windows open. Jags are in training camp. Like,
I tried so hard not to laugh at that. And
Tony Khan's busy. He's dealing with the Saudis. They're taking players. You know, he has to be.
The Saudis are poaching his players. It's crazy.
He has to stand on the front lines. Somebody has to do it.
I've gone on a couple rants tonight, you know.
It's felt like therapy. I gotta be honest. From my seat, it's felt. Charlie at one point like praying. Did you see that, guy? When he was talking, Charlie was like this.
I like how
stars, man.
When Monty was in the middle of his rant, somebody said, "Joe, grab a headlock."
I tried to get him, and he pushed me off. I said, "All right, I'll come back later." You know, like.
Oh man.
Sometimes the conversations need to be had. People give Tony Khan too much leeway. Like, this isn't your run-of-the-mill AEW pay-per-view. This is Wembley Stadium. Like, I don't know, man.
I just think that
it's not such a big deal. WrestleMania is going to break the record anyways.
Manny, shut up.
I just think that with a lot of like AEW, again, a lot of the reason that we get this is because of a lot of it is what appeals to a lot of the wrestlers that are in AEW, that they don't have to work these crazy schedules. Tony's pretty lenient with allowing talent to have time off, etc., etc. And as I said, like before, I went full like rant about it. It's like, you know, it's like I'm not fully blaming Tony, and I'm not fully blaming the talent either. But I think there's fault on kind of like both sides of kind of how like lax,
I'm
passive and stuff it is.
You gotta fully blame Tony, bro.
Yeah, because even if
the talent are asking for time off, like it's the environment Tony created. Which I'm not saying it's a bad environment that talent feel like they can go to their boss and be like, I need some time off. But like you said, we got all in and all out, back to back. Like these next 5-6 weeks, like you kind of just gotta push through at this point.
I feel like it's kind of harsh to an extent to put it all on Tony, because it's like the talent are asking for and wanting. Like ideally, the talent would like want to be there, you know. And again, if I'm not gonna blame someone for asking for a day off and like getting it, but like that also kind of makes it a bit difficult.
I do think
to put
though,
it all on Tony, you know.
And again, though, the reason I think you have to look at Tony is he loves this kind of rotation approach to TV. You know, where it's like this.
Yeah, he takes a lot of the blame, absolutely. 100%.
And it's just, I do think the issue with that approach, while it has a lot of strengths, the issue is when it comes time to build to a big time show, sometimes you wonder if the focus is in the right directions. Like I love AR Fox. We all were happy to see him get a big thing last night. We want it to be on TV more. Should an episode be built around him a month for Wembley Stadium? No, you know, and that's not a knock on AR. It just is what it is. So it's like, yeah, I think that's where kind of the blame goes for me anyway.
One last thing on the vacation, man. You got 6 other days, man. What are you doing on your other 6 days that you need to?
I'm really trying to steer Manny away
from the vacation. Taking 2 week, 2 week, Manny. I'm with you, brother. Taking 2 week vacations.
I used to work 2 days. I used to work 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and my vacation was Monday through Friday, bro. It's just what it was.
Yeah, man. It's again, like, all these top stars are gone. Tony's left fucking doing filler episodes. It's, you know, one route to All In. It wasn't a bad show, but it wasn't hitting the wave that it should 1 month out from fucking Wembley, bro. Like, it's almost like you want to grab Tony Khan and shake him and be like, bro, you're at fucking Wembley in a month. Like, what are we doing? You know? Very frustrating. You know, fucking vacations, you know?
Look, I need them to look at Tony Khan, a hardworking man, you know, just working every day, you know, on multiple businesses, no days off, you know, no days off. Tony Khan.
Let's take it easy. It's not turning us into that.
Like, you don't have to
mind the business of defending billionaires.
Food out of your mouth.
Look at Manny giving a speech. Everyone work as hard as their boss, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, I work as hard as Monty, man. You know, it's just what I do.
Good shit.
The WrestlePurists Revolution will be televised. Starring the whole
thing. Yeah. AEW All In, man. Fucking, I've put a lot of money down for this show, Joe. You know,
I can tell. Yeah, I was going to ask you how much them hotels cost.
Spent a fair penny on this. Like.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
It will be great. Seriously.
Yeah, that's kind of like the funny irony of it is that like I don't think for 1 second it'll be like a bad show. Like it'll be a good show, whatever we get, you know. But man, it should feel like. And it'll feel very like monumentous at the moment because it'll be 80,000 people in the stadium. Do you know what I mean? UK crowd, it would be a great crowd as well. It should just be built up like it's the biggest thing to ever happen in wrestling history. You know, and that's how I think it should be promoted.
It should, but you know, it's just I completely get it, and I get the frustration, but I think we know where they're going to end up with this legitimately. So I don't think you have to worry about the destination, even if I agree the route is not quite as glorious as it should be. They should be a lot more triumphant and honestly celebrating what they've achieved.
He left. He's had enough.
I don't know. Too much Wembley talk.
Oh, man, I don't play, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Gravity, Wembley.
Oh.
Fucking...
Wembley's
I was at Newton in my face. Sir Isaac Newton, $2. Offended is beyond words, mate. I'm happy I offended you.
Monty, everybody, I gotta say, everybody in the chat, man, keeps saying the show's gonna be great. Of course, the show's gonna be great, man. But the build,
that's not what we're talking about.
I gotta watch this shit every week.
Yeah. That's not even what we're talking about either, bro. It's not even like we're saying, All In's going to be a flop and it's going to be a bad show. That's not came out of, or anything remotely close to that has came out of our mouth. So, like it's very much like it's like last year's Forbidden Door. Like I was very, I wasn't shy about saying that I thought the build and I thought the build was kind of bad. I thought the matches that we got, considering the hype going into it, were kind of underwhelming. But the show on the night ended up being one of the shows of the year, and because of the novelty of it being Forbidden Door as well, it still had like that feeling to it, But again, like I said, this is literally should be like billed as like the biggest thing in the history of wrestling in the Tony Khan verse, and it's not. Even though on the night, I'm sure it'll be a really great night. So.
That's my biggest gripe, is that the talent just are pretending it doesn't exist on TV. They're not acknowledging it. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Like, you should...
So, like, it's like Charlie, you mentioned about the Elite as well. About like, how All In is there, baby. Like, the Elite and Cody Rhodes, do you know what I mean? And it's like...
Just haven't talked about it.
How far out did they start really pushing All In on BTE? Before the first one, because it was these months out, like they've done the whole thing with the phones when they all got the message. That was so it's like and when that's the hilarious thing, like the build to All In one, there was a very conscious effort in that to make that feel like a piece of history and a moment in time and something really special, and you're witnessing the start of a new era, etc., etc., etc. Like, they really hammered all that home and they've done it really well for the first ever All In. And now All In 2, when you've got all the fucking resources in the world you could ask for, you've got the best roster in the world you could ask for, you've got more TV time than you know what to fucking do with, you've got all the belts you could possibly put on the line on the card, you've got fucking every single resource you could possibly need to make this feel as good as it should. And
nothing.
This is what we're getting. We're getting AR Fox Law, and Gravity.
It's definitely more frustrating for fans that have been invested as long as we have, because we watched the build to All In. We saw all that happen, and like how they're treating the first ever AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. It's like, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Like, the company aren't treating it like the biggest deal it should be, and that's what's frustrating. Like, that is really what is frustrating about it as a fan. So, like, why does my investment matter if you're not making it feel important?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if my investment doesn't matter, I'll just stop watching the TV and show up on August 27th. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, it's just... Exactly. Joe's tempted,
Like... Yeah, mind you, don't worry. We'll get all the building we need on Collision.
It's chill, man. For me, because obviously I'm a big shot. All In is just like a road 2 show for me before I get on the jet to Chicago. So it's like, it's cool, throw some tags in there. You guys have fun. It'll be right. I'll buy you a drink, it'll be right.
Yeah, well,
all it's gonna take is them to drop one like talent graphic saying this person is All In, and I'm back on board. That's all they need to do to get.
Announce Goldberg, Tony. You fucking coward.
No. I knew we were gonna end up here. I knew it. This is all what you wanted to say the whole time was, where's Goldberg? That's it.
That would have been my first choice, but
been waiting all podcast for it.
Imagine that they post a video of Bill at Wembley Stadium doing the big "You're next" and he points to the screen at Wembley.
Oh, imagine those tickets go flying.
Bro, those 100. Say if they're at 80 now, if Goldberg drops that exact video as Joe Hulbert just described it, 85, brother, in a week, easy.
You really think
Goldberg still draws, bro? He still draws. Like, I still can't believe it when I see it myself, but he does. He draws the money, bro. It's fucking crazy. Nearly 30 years later, I mean, he keeps himself in shape, God
maybe we'll be in Chicago instead, money.
Bro, could you imagine? More
I couldn't
reaction.
even get that out. Yeah, I couldn't even. The text I would send Monty from the United
Bro,
Center.
if Goldberg got announced, then it was like, oh, he's all out, not all in. As it stands, I'd sell up my hotel room tickets, everything, and just book a flight to Chicago, bro. Fuck it. Yeah.
That's cheap right now. Actually, I was looking the other day.
That would be like the most insane wrestling fan move of all time, you know. Like AEW's finally coming to your country for the first time for a historic Wembley Stadium event. It's like, nah, give me the all state, you know.
That would be a tremendous mistake, but it rules. So we'll see.
Hey man, if I can get myself a bit of Punk MJF, what's another match that could tempt Eddie versus Mox could tempt me over to get to go over to Chirac, you know. Telling you, man. They could cook something. Goldberg, bro. That's the trifecta right there, Hall. But Griff 499. I assume we get Kenny versus Takeshita, but outside of that, I don't know about anything else.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't even know.
Jericho.
Yeah, I assume we're getting it as well, but it isn't. It doesn't feel like a lock on the TV show to me at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Again,
there's a whole lot of assumptions from us, and nothing on TV to back them up. So,
besides MJF and Cole, just so we can, for the pedantic people out there, because we know there's many of them out there. You know, that's the only one though, genuinely, which is kind of crazy. Darren Cagey, $5. I love BTE, but when are the elite going to realise most AEW fans don't watch it? Tell your stories on TV and stop existing in your own little universe.
They do tell the stories on TV. BTE.
I was going to say they're not that bad for it these days.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think they are. Anyway.
The only thing of note that they said in this week's BTE is they were like talking about the tag division and the singles division for Kenny. That's about all they said. That was like of note. So. You're not missing much if you don't watch it. It's just
like the main storytelling beats they'll do on TV. Like it's not like it's kind of like if you're a detail mark like Charlie, you'll watch BT.
I think if they'd have just got a promo from last week in the locker room for TV's purposes, I think the elite part of this is not an issue at all. To be honest, like genuinely,
it's just one small thing and a lot of frustrations.
Yes,
and because. A lot of my fandom is based around the elite. It's just another thing on top.
I think it's unacceptable.
I know what you think. I was just trying.
I think it's unacceptable on that, but at the end of the day, I'm happy. All my Kingdom maniacs stand up, man. The Kingdom is on Rampage. We finally got it on TV.
Finally,
you can actually watch Rampage.
No, I watched I'll go back and watch the fight feed.
I'll probably Google the spoilers after the podcast. Actually, I haven't looked yet.
But yeah, shout out BT. Charlie knows this. I've been a big fan for a while now.
Got into it just before they had to stop last August.
Oh, I'm back. I'm all in again now. We're back. We're back, baby. Showtime Spurs $5. The only thing I can think of for the filler ep was going head to head with the World Cup, which drew like over 6.5. But even then, I don't think that shit should matter. Like
for 2023. So
wait,
I genuinely don't think you should book your TV and how good or bad it is around like outside factors like that. Because people who are fans of the product and fans of the company are gonna catch up in whatever way they can. Whether it's the YouTube clips of the main stuff they want to watch, or whether they go back and watch the whole episode, or whether they stream it, or whatever the fuck. So you should be aiming to have the best show for that week that you can possibly have every single week. Not, oh, well, the World Cup and Vanderpump Rules is on this week, so fucking, let's just have Gravity on. What, no?
This poor guy.
Gravity's just getting.
It could have been any wrestler, and they would have got the brunt of it this week. So
fair. Yeah.
Poor dude was just it just lost like an 8-minute match on TV, and when he's like, "This piece of shit," right? It's so unnecessary.
It's just another thing on top of our business. Tony Khan, please announce something so we can be excited and not do half an hour of rants about your pay-per-views. Thank you.
Showtime Spurs just fucking this piece of shit, you know.
I don't know, man. You might be on the
WrestlePurists anti-union, you know.
I felt when Manny started giving a speech about how great bosses are, I felt very uncomfortable. I was very, very uncomfortable. Tony's working hard, guys. I was like, cool, what's happening here? What's this? He's watching too much Rogan.
Bro, I moved on, man. Nobody told me the World Cup was going on, man. What the hell?
Manny's been poisoned, bro. He's far right manner, you know, conspiracy manner, you know, workplace manner. He's
liberal, you know.
That was convincing. That was convincing.
Oh, bro, I'm not into politics, man. I didn't even know who was it? DeSantis?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Jeez.
Poor manner. Needs to lighten up the mood a bit more. Regal, $4.99. Appreciate you as always. Joe Hulbert, my delicious little sausage. I think Parker and my big lawyer man AO might have just been replaced. Oh.
It's fine. It's a worthwhile bit to lighten the mood. You know, that's fine.
If you want
decent super chat,
I've had fun. Okay. You know.
Yeah. I think it's been a hoot personally, but you know, I'm about watching it. But,
Regal's anti-union.
Well, hold on. Quite the accusation right there, Manny the Hooper. Everyone just ignore Manny the Hooper. He had a glitch, you know. Darren Walker, £5 super chat. Appreciate you very much. Mickey Jones is going to be at Rev Pro, so get Nick orders for All In, and the rest of the tickets get sold out. Hulbert, is he cooking?
Amen.
Of course he is. Darren don't miss, you know.
Go into the UK in October, so they got to save their pops.
Well, hold on. I mean, this is, someone sent that to me, and I was like, Coventry? Oh, my guess,
no,
yeah.
Nick Aldis signs his AEW contract in the middle of the Wembley arena.
Oh. They flash the All Elite graphic on screen.
Mm-hmm.
He puts up the clipboard in the air.
For the
Bro, I saw more fucking...
Gets knighted.
I saw more fucking Wembley promo, All In, at fucking the FA Cup final than I did on Dynamite last night, you know? It's fucking crazy out here, bro.
It's wild.
Alright. We spoke about All In. We spoke about Dynamite and the things that came with that. Is there anything else that anyone wants us to touch on for the last couple of minutes before we get out of here in the chat? Because I do feel like we have covered everything. And
I mean,
we've got through the super chats, and I got heated. Manny's been misogynistic.
Well,
Hulbert's tried to lead, but he got a bit out of hand for him sometimes.
I try to put some fires out tonight, folks.
Charlie got upset a couple times. You know.
Charlie prayed.
Some characters were assassinated tonight.
Started a prayer circle for all it.
I wasn't expecting this when we first started the podcast.
I
I knew I had some things to say, but I just wasn't. You know, you know me, Joe. You know me, Joe. I'm like, you know,
you usually got it. But you said before the show, you said, you know, I might just get a little out of hand or something. I thought, here we go.
I should have anticipated being spiteful after the tweet I tweeted in my circles earlier today.
I will admit I was surprised by Charlie's the genuine frustration and fear that I sensed as Charlie went through. I mean, that was.
It's just general frustration, man. Like when you, like as I said, like when you've been invested for something for so long, you just want to see. Just want to see stuff.
It's normal. It just caught me off guard. There was a sense of panic to it. It was very alarming.
It's because, like, if I talk about it on Twitter, I just have to mute it immediately because it can't be an open dialogue. Because people are just like, "Oh, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be a great card. Why are you stressed?"
People think that you hate AEW and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. It's just like, "Oh, you're turning on this company." It's just like, "No, I'm not. I just want the best for them."
I think
that's
generally
not what
speaking,
they're delivering. So.
If someone explains they are like frustrated with something I don't think is good, I would generally recommend not to reply. Actually, it's good. I don't think it has the best effect, like for the most part. Because Could be wrong.
Yeah, people just, it's like Charlie says, like, people kind of have like these open dialogues. It's like, oh, I don't like this, it's frustrating me, etc., etc. And someone like, well, actually, it's really good. It's not like, oh, what do you find frustrating about it? Or like, it's never like that, you know. It's never like let's converse about it. It's more, I need to prove you wrong and get more likes, you know.
Charlie not excited.
It stinks out there.
I'm just glad we agreed on Gravity's walk.
I was about to bring that up.
Oh, bro, let's not take the piss now. Willie, talk about Spence Crawford. Manny, Joe, who you got?
Yeah, Crawford.
I got Crawford. I still am not totally convinced Spence is the same guy after coming back. I don't know. I don't think he's quite what he was. He's very close, but it's fine margins. I got Crawford.
Did you see the presser they had earlier today?
I did not.
Crawford ate his ass alive, bro. I mean,
can't wait though. I cannot wait.
Simeon, Jericho, and Ospreay. We did touch on it. Willie said all aliens. Manny, do you have any update on the aliens?
No, I really not. I got all my alien talk out yesterday on late night.
Did you get your 5 minute?
Yeah, I think I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do.
Can you premiere
That's
that?
That's not how stand up works, man. You can't just go.
Twitch.tv/late night grim. We're going to workshop Manny's stand up routine. We're going to piece it together.
Manny's going to go on Kill Tony with like 30-second bit, you know.
He's doing his head tilt.
Yeah.
I just want to walk around the stage with the mic in my hands and just be like, "Hey guys, you know what's going on?" like Seinfeld or something.
Brett Rosen, we got to talk about Tony D and Stacks winning those titles on Sunday. It'll be a glorious day, a very religious day for me, you know. Sunday, the day of the Lord, Tony D. And we're going to be eating good. We'll talk about it more when it happens. Ben Dixon, Charlie, not excited for the Elite versus Dark Order. I don't think she is.
Don't get me started. Please. I've been on a couple of rounds. We don't need another one. That'll be a Twitter thread eventually. I'll get annoyed.
Good luck.
Ace Rules. Let's talk about Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Who you got? I think Seth wins again, which, you know, I don't really think makes much sense if they're running it back at SummerSlam. But I don't know. For some reason, I just don't think they'll put the belt on Finn.
No, not at all. I know the story they're telling suggests that, but I don't believe it either.
Yeah. Did y'all talk about last night's G1? It was this morning for most of us.
It was this morning, yeah.
So we didn't talk about it. Ospreay Okada, I have not got round to seeing that, but I've heard it is as expected.
18 minutes.
What a match of the year contender.
It was such a good match. Like, considering the fact it was only 18 minutes, like, it was so fucking good, man. I loved that match so much. And Kaito Kiyomiya versus Gabe Kidd as well was awesome.
Sounds good.
It was really fucking good. What else?
Did you throw your dog in the air, Manny, or did I just imagine that? You know?
What else? There was Hikuleo versus Yota Tsuji. That was.
Wait, what? Hikuleo versus Yota Tsuji was good.
Multiple people have claimed it was good.
There was some spots that popped me. It was.
God bless, I'll check it out.
It over-delivered. We'll go with that one. Yeah, over-delivered, definitely. Yeah.
Anything else, Charlie? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, sorry. No, it was a mixed bag. Who did that? Was Yoshihashi versus Taichi on this show? If it was, that match was also. I think so, yeah,
because I don't recall seeing it, and it's the only day I haven't watched so far. So, Simeon, what is a predicted all-in main event for you guys? We spoke about it quite in depth yesterday, and we landed on. But we didn't predict anything because they ain't fucking giving us anything to predict off, you know.
It's MJF and Cole, isn't it? It's
MJF and Cole. But me and Charlie are hoping for Bucks FTR.
I have Gaethje versus Poirier. So you got Mike Tyson talking about that fight.
Do you really? You got Gaethje, yeah? I don't know.
Well, you meant for the all-in.
Poirier, Gaethje. You got Gaethje, man.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not picking against Poirier.
Why?
One of the good guys has to win eventually.
So is Poirier. Dustin's a great dude.
I feel like Dustin's the true good guy.
Dustin's
there,
like
but,
the good guy of MMA almost, you know.
Poirier's already held the UFC title.
Monty, we're forgetting Manny's politics. That explains it. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Poirier's fighting a good fight, brother. You know, literally. That's the name of his charity. So shout out to Poirier. You know. Yeah, I've got Poirier again. I genuinely. Why is Manny got to throw me off? I think Poirier's going to get it done in a similar fashion to what he did last time.
Like, I think Poirier on points this time, but Manny just legitimately says, Manny just says anyone can have a charity, which is one of the most dismissive things. Even on this podcast, that was a step far. But there you go.
Yeah.
This weekend's card is good though, man. I'm excited.
What makes you think Gaethje will survive 4th round?
Well, I think Gaethje's been more measured as of late, which is all relative. I mean, he's still nuts, but he's been slightly more measured. So I don't think he's going to walk quite into the fire as he did in the first fight. In a more tactical affair, which I think will still be very exciting. The issue is, can Gaethje fight tactically against Poirier with success? It feels like if they fight at range, he's going to get lit up to me. So
I kind of know Gaethje's kind of fucked up when he said, "I'm going to take this to the ground." Because he's finally
because he's not gonna even. So like, he's full of shit, man. I know he's more measured than that, but
he's still Gaethje.
Yeah, like especially with someone like Poirier, who is gonna like urge him to scrap. You know, he'll get pulled into the scrap. 100%. He's
gonna get jabs to the face twice, and he's gonna get that rush of excitement and just start. He's gonna stand in the middle and just start swinging.
Darren KG, what happened to Tony Ferguson? The cruel reality of MMA is what actually happened to Tony Ferguson.
Him being a brown bear all the time.
I think it's just timing, bro. We just have brutal timing, you know. Because like, I think genuinely, like when you look back at it, and when you look at his run in his prime, like he's genuinely one of the best UFC lightweights of all time, comfortably for me. But he never held the undisputed title because of just the timing he was in. There was the McGregor being out and not fighting, and then Khabib won the bout, and it's like it's brutal, you know. And everyone loved Ferguson, and obviously he's just declined rapidly. And
he looks now like a guy trying to be Tony Ferguson. He's like doing an impression of Tony Ferguson. Like it's insane. His performance in the Nate Diaz fight was scary, bro. He looked so washed.
It was funny.
It was terrible.
In his interview today, he says, "I feel like I'm in the prime of my life right now." So, just don't be talking crazy like that, you know.
That's what they all say, bro. And when they're on like a fucking 3-fight losing streak, and then they get a big fight because of name value, they're like, "Yeah, man, I've got a new coach, I've got a new strength and conditioning coach, and I feel fresh, you know, better than ever." And they go out there and just get knocked out in like the first round or some shit. It's a cruel sport, man.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's brutal. It's cruel, and obviously when it's one of your faves, like Ferguson is for me, like, over the years, like it's really sad to see. You know,
it's rare you see guys like Robbie Lawler, you know, leave with the chin intact and they go out on top. You know.
Well,
but he had a fall off though, man.
I was going to say Robbie had a.
He loses like Barbarina and shit, like yeah.
But the thing is, well, you know, at least he won his last fight. You know.
No, I agree. Yeah, the send off was beautiful.
Yeah. Especially the way he's done it, you know.
That's part of the issue for older guys is they all want that perfect last fight. You just keep going and go, you know. That's part of the issue.
It's not Taker, you know.
Bigfoot still
wanted that perfect man. Yeah, he literally wanted that perfect Mania match.
That's the best.
Didn't come until
that's the best MMA tribute spot that Taker ever did. To be honest with
you. Ace Rules, who is the WrestlePurists member of the year? That's a discussion we can all have. Do you mean podcaster or like member of the live chat? Because everyone knows Hulbert is going for his WrestlePurist of the Year award this year. He's putting in a very strong case, you know.
I'm going for Wrestler of the Year, bro.
He's going for all of it, you know. Someone you got to email Dave, make sure he gets his props. But if you're talking people in a live chat, I'd probably say Bam, because he's gifted like fucking 30 subs on Twitch, you know. We've got loads of people who support us and they're just great in the live chat, whether that's just being funny in the live chat or whether that's just sending us super chats and just kind of supporting us financially, because it's all massively appreciated. And I've said it many times, I think we've got the best live chat in all of wrestling media. No one compares to you guys, whether it's the bits, whether it's calling me a piece of shit, whether it's impersonating Isaac Newton or Ron DeSantis or whoever it may be, you know. We got a great community going here, you know. So, yeah. Well, member of the podcast, Hulbert. It's got to be Hulbert, you know. He's put the brand into it and everything, you know what I mean? He stepped it up. We've given him more of a packed schedule this week, you know, and he's not taking any vacations on me, you know. It's it's real shit, you know. Yeah, man. I guess Ibu will always be in contention because the people love Ibu. He's our big star. Ayo, of course, stepping up, filling in shoes on the Twitch channel. You know, he's taking charge over there. He's in contention. We got a solid team, man. We got a solid team. We got the Hoopers, you know. We got Charlie, she's the law merchant. People bring different flavors to the channel, you know.
I do.
It's good balance.
Besides me, I just kind of grunt and grumble about things, you know.
You barked 50 tonight, man. Look, people can think what they want, but as someone who has another show to do and as playing co-host here, that was an easy night's work, brother. I mean, I just had to sit there and wind you up at one point. I was just adding fuel, you know. Beautiful, great time.
Did you see that Gravity's in this TV title tournament for Ring of Honor?
Anyway.
Yeah, I can't believe they're doing another TV tournament.
Okay, I was actually gonna follow through. In fact, when I remembered, I want to do some plugs. So,
why is there another TV title tournament?
I don't know. I just saw the tweet. I was just like, oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Okay. Joe, Late Night Green, going straight over there. Who's actually on? Joe, Manny,
and Manny. Yeah, the big three. The big three. No, Bob.
That'll be some good stuff.
Jack Crosby is booking himself, so.
Okay, maybe not so much good stuff. That'll be very scary. I hope it goes well for you, Joe, and you don't get cancelled tonight.
Appreciate it, mate.
Charlie, hurry up and write that feature.
Yes.
What else have I got? We've got features on the site, whether that's Hulbert's match guide or whether it's an Athena feature. We've got the latest video essay up by Hulbert, the Athena video. Still catch up on the Usos video, or maybe even check out the FTR 2022 video. We've got a Stardom guide on there. But yeah, website, WrestlePurists.com. Follow us on Twitter, @WrestlePurists. Thanks for watching. Please like on the way out. Please subscribe on the way out. We appreciate all the super chats, and please turn on our post notifications. And we may catch you tomorrow for Unpurists. I'll have to double confirm with AO and the guys. And yeah, man, I will see you guys over on the Late Night Green stream because I'm going to go over to that live chat. And this is the real outro. Peace.
Real life all time.